Hello, my name is HQ of HQ Reacts. Welcome to my channel. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button, share the stream, and click the notification button.
Hey. This is HQ in the house. HQ.
America, but this time, no phone booths, no kryptonite, and definitely not a cape. Dean Cain, the TV Man of Steel, is signing up with ICE, and he's not alone. The Trump administration wants to turn this into a recruitment blockbuster, casting everyone from Gen Z TikTok stars to retired cops in its latest mission. Cape optional, badge, however, required. Here's the story with more.
It looks like Superman is swapping his cape for a badge. Dean Cain, the actor best known for playing the Man of Steel, in Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman from 1993 to 1997, says he's about to become a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent. Well, an honorary one at least. Already a sworn deputy sheriff and reserve police officer, Cain revealed in an interview that he will be sworn as an ICE agent as soon as possible. The Department of Homeland Security confirmed that Cain will be sworn in next month, describing his act as an encouragement to Americans to become real-life superheroes. Cain says he hopes other former officers and ICE veterans will also step up to help meet the hiring targets.
You can earn lots of great benefits and pay. Yet since President Trump took office, ICE has arrested hundreds of thousands of criminals, including terrorists, rapists, murderers, pedophiles, MS-13 gang members, drug traffickers, you name it, very dangerous people who are no longer on the streets. You can defend your homeland and get great benefits like a $50,000 signing bonus. Think about that. Student loan repayment legally. Enhanced retirement benefits and special pay for those in the field operations and law enforcement roles. So if you want to help save America, ICE is arresting the worst of the worst and removing them from America's streets. I like that. I voted for that. They need your help. We need your help to protect our homeland and our families.
But this time, Superman will not be fighting alone. He will be joined by an army of Gen Z Americans. The Trump administration is gearing up for a massive PR blitz to fill more than 14,000 immigration enforcement roles, and Gen Z is firmly in its sights. In July, officials announced that ICE aims to hire an additional 10,000 new personnel, which would double the agency's headcount. Government documents reveal plans for an urgent national advertising campaign aimed at attracting potential recruits, especially young adults just entering the workforce, military veterans, former law enforcement, and legal professionals.
It's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal, right? But they're catching strays, they're catching bullets, they're catching all kinds of hell. That job ain't as easy as you want it to be or you think it's going to be. They are catching a lot of hell. There's a lot of things they have to do to go against what they believe, what they want, their family, all kinds of things. You have to have tough skin in order to work those. And my thing is, I don't believe you should be hiring the younger ones to be doing it. You should be hiring ex-policemen, policemen with people with police experience, people who have military experience, those type people who have already been in combat, who have already had hand-to-hand combat, who have already done these kind of things. Not to put our people, our young generation in harm's way, okay? People who have done this before. All for you being hired to do ICE. I just don't want young people to be in the line of fire because they don't have the experience and they need a target. They have a target of 14,000. They have a target of a whole bunch of people that they have to hire we don't want our young people out there doing that kind of thing. And they don't have enough experience. They don't know the nuances of the street. They don't know the nuances of immigration. They don't know the nuance of people's knife or shiv, all these kind of things. I guess it may be okay, and maybe they'll give the training. But when you say you need 14,000 people, that tells me some things might get overlooked. Some things might get thrown by the wayside. Okay. So yes, but I would prefer if they had law enforcement experience, they had some kind of training, some kind of military training, X, Y, and Z. And they're talking about different things about, what is it? Forgiving the student loan or getting the student loan off your back, making extra money, sign-on bonuses, those kind of things. I get it, I do. But have they filled their quota yet? Is it enough people to go around in order to get this job? You're gonna have everybody having a damn ICE job. You're gonna have every young person having an ICE job, right? 9 times out of 10, you're gonna run into a family member. Of course, they're gonna run into family members. Hopefully, they have their family members out of the way. These are ICE. These are people out there with the experience to do what they got to do. Yes, I get where they're trying to recruit. They're trying to get people to come and get a job. But somebody like Dean Cain is old. Dean Cain is around my age. Okay. So Dean Cain is around my age, and he may be a nice recruitment tool. Superman might be, but Superman will get a bullet in his ass, or because they took bullets the other day, right? So it's not a matter of people on the left. HQ bulk of children. Yeah, the bulk of our military are children. Yes, but on the street, the military I think is a little bit different than the streets. Right. So, and I understand that, they need help. They need 14,000 people. Do they still need 14,000 people? You go to the United States website and it's right there. Are they doing they ain't doing the DEI. So they just hiring any old motherfucker to drag himself off the street. Ain't no standards there. If you need 14,000 people, how many standards can you have? So this is part of the problem I have, right? It's not a matter of us hating the ICE agents. It's not. Okay, it's not. I just object to the way they enforce the immigration laws. I just object to the way they do it. Okay, they conduct raids without compassion, target families, detain people in horrible conditions, alligator Alcatraz, and they use aggressive tactics that feel like they're unsympathetic to the plight. And I get it. These people have broken the law. A lot of y'all say they broke the law. It's just like it's just like a freaking jaywalking ticket. It's a citation. It's not a felony or anything like that. Really, are leftists and Democrats really that soft? If they got bullets, what we need, pellets? No, they're not that soft. I'm just that soft. Okay. Low IQ. Trump 2028. You're an idiot, Roscoe. But okay. So the issue isn't just about the law. It's about the methods in which they do what they got to do. How they got to do it. Okay. People argue enforcement should be fair. I get all that. Humane and resourceful rather than purely punitive, which is how they're conducting their jobs. And a lack of empathy undermines trust in the system. It definitely does that. So ICE officers, they wear hoods over their heads. Why do they wear hoods over their heads? If they're so proud of what they're doing, why do they have hoods over their heads? They do it because they do the raids and the arrests. I guess this is protection for their identity. Okay. Okay. I don't know, Pablo. I don't know. Why don't you go over there and let the Republicans lie to you, dumbass? That's what you need to do. So officially, this is to protect their identity. I get it. Okay. But to the public, it's intimidating. And they're not taking into account the people that they're taking to the jail, to alligator Alcatraz, and all those good things. Covering their face because they're ashamed. Maybe you're ashamed of what you're doing. I guess it's anonymity. I guess it is what it is. Combined with aggressive tactics makes it difficult for us to deal with you. Difficult to have sympathy for the ICE agents. when things happen to them. Of course, I get that you shouldn't be shot at. I get it. Nobody should be shot at. And these are police officers. These are particularly, like, I guess, less than police officers. What else? And we need immigration officers. We just do. We do. But the whole point is, you can do your job, but you don't have to be an asshole when you do your job. Okay? The situation is made worse from the president. The worst president we ever had in our life. The worst president that we have ever had in our lifetime. Because the president has been accused of weaponizing ICE against immigrants. Okay? ICE against immigrants, especially in urban neighborhoods and sanctuary cities. Okay? Sanctuary cities are places that limit cooperation with federal law enforcement. And they should, because they're sanctuary cities. Okay? I can't help it. I don't know all the sanctuary cities. I don't care one way or the other. Okay? Targeting these areas politically is not what the president said. The president said he was going after criminals. Sanctuary cities don't specifically have criminals. So if you're going after criminals, okay, fine and dandy. We will. You go after the criminals. I don't mind the criminals. I just mind you coming into neighborhoods and then taking people out of the neighborhoods that shouldn't be there. Okay? That shouldn't be taken out of the neighborhoods. Okay? So the whole point is, that's why we don't get along with the ICE people. Okay? It's a tool. It's used as a tool for political pressure. Okay? Unfair punishment of communities, local policies. People are not going to help them. Okay? People are not going to help them. So criticism about ICE isn't about how it's being used and how it operates. Okay? Aggressive tactics, mask wearing, legal loopholes, not going by the Constitution, all of those things. That's what makes them not be liked. Okay? And we argue about immigration officials should balance law and order and humanity, transparency and fairness. But instead of doing that, they don't do it the right way. So we have a problem with all these people. We have a problem when we have people coming in neighborhoods and doing the things that they're doing. Okay. That being said, you don't make any sense. Learn how to read, though. Roscoe. Ooh, Roscoe. I feel sorry for people like you. I really do. So, this is what's happening with the people. Just raiding people for no reason. Detained outside court. Okay? Detained outside court. They're doing the right thing. They're trying to do the right thing. How is that right? How is that correct? Okay? How is that correct? You see how I'm not even acknowledging this inhuman, this toaster. I'm not acknowledging the toaster, but the toaster keeps talking. He knows he's a toaster. But they're going to immigrate. They're going to some of the hearings, and they're picking these people up. That's nowhere to practice ICE raids, especially when you said that you were going to get criminals. And if they're already in court trying to do the right thing, then why would you go there and arrest them? Okay. I don't think illegal immigration is okay. But I'm not going to demonize the people because they're illegal immigrants. I'm not going to treat them like they're monsters. Just give them a way to become citizens. Give them a way to become citizens. Track all the people that are here. No, they don't worry about European immigrants. They only worry about the Mexican folks. That's all they worry about is the Mexican ones. Okay? That's all they worry about is those. But this is the way they do it. Okay? They go to meetings, they go to Home Depot, they go to ICE immigration hearings, they go to all of these places. When the only thing you have to do is make all of them come down Social Security office, sit them down, tell them they got to be down there in 6 months. Once they get down there, make sure you document all of them. Then the ones who don't come and get into get themselves documented, then we know they're probably people who have committed crimes. But most of these people who get picked up are not criminals. Most of these people are regular, ordinary citizens that are working just like everybody else. Okay. And I'm all for immigration. Okay, fine. Let's do immigration. But you said you were trying to get the criminals first. So if you're trying to get the criminals first, then I expect you to go get the criminals first. I don't expect you to go get regular, ordinary citizens. Okay. I don't expect that. Okay. I expect you to do the right thing, right? And we have criticism for ICE. There's nothing wrong with having criticism. We're not just gonna okay or give a person a green light. Okay. They already have a house. They already have homes. If they're here, they already have homes. They already have someplace to go. We just want them to be documented. If they're here, then they need to be documented. Some of y'all ain't never even met an illegal immigrant. And y'all worried about illegal immigrants. I'm confused. You don't know one from the other. They're not taking your jobs. They're not doing any of those things out of order. You wouldn't even know them even if you ran into them. Only reason why you would think they were foreign is because they got an accent. Okay? And people think the left has criticism of the law enforcement. No, they feel like the left doesn't like immigration. Okay? Left likes immigration just fine. Okay? Just fine. The reason why we have a problem with it is because they have harsh enforcement tactics. Okay? They've been criticized. Large scale raids, going to Home Depot, going to farms, going to immigration hearings, going to all of these things. These people don't have criminal records. So you're just getting anybody. Sure, we like open borders, Bubba. You can't be all doing the research. You got to have heard that that's a lie. You got to have heard that. And if you haven't heard that, then you're in a bubble. You need to get out of the bubble. Okay? So my whole thing is they like to enforce the rules harshly without having to do that. The detention conditions that they put people in. No, they built a town or a something called Alligator Alcatraz, where alligators are surrounding it, and then so can't nobody leave or can't nobody come. Okay. And the whole point is they're targeting illegal and legal. That's what you dummies don't get. That's what some dummies don't get. They're targeting legal and illegal. Some of these people are legal. Some of these people are becoming legal. Some people are in the middle of being legal. Okay? But yet and still, we have goofies on here talking about illegal's illegal. Okay? And it makes no sense. Damn, why? I don't know. Why? Do I have the dumbest chat? Sometimes I had the dumbest chat. So anyway, Alligator Alcatraz, that's a horrendous place. And yet they have all of those people there. Okay? They have all of those people there for what? When you can just see if they're legal, see if they have records, and then send them on their way if they don't have if they do have records, put them in jail if they do have records, and send them on their way if they don't have records. I don't know. Tonight is worse. I'm getting all the weirdos, but they don't bother me because I'm a strong human being with my own set of values and core morals. So I don't care what they think. They're just talking. They're just bots. They're just robots. They're just toasters. So anyway, we have philosophical differences. We have policy differences. Yes, we do. Okay. We support immigration reform. We do. Pathway to citizenship. No, I don't think I'm weird, Bubba. I think you're weird. And we're more compassionate when we deal with these people. Okay. ICE represents the opposite to you guys. Y'all only got 4 things going for y'all. You're homophobic, transphobic, Islamophobic, immigration phobic, and you're racist. All of those things. Homophobic, transphobic, Islamophobic, and racist. How do you even survive? How do you even function every morning? You get up and you're a bundle of shit every morning. Every morning. How do you even live? You know what? Why don't you go throw yourself down some concrete stairs with your hands tied? Okay, so we don't want to abolish ICE. We just want it to regulate itself. It seems like it's a rogue organization that abuses power, and its existence isn't necessary since immigration enforcement can handle that. Less militarized agencies can handle. But it's being weaponized by Donald Trump. So I understand what it is, right? Okay. And there's a whole bunch of activist groups that want to get rid of it. We need ICE. We need ICE. We need them. But we don't need them to be the way that they are or conducting themselves the way that they are. Like it's the Gestapo tactics. They come and they snatch you out in the middle of the day with a mask on. You don't know who's taking you. You don't know where you're going. You end up in Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz, and you ain't even supposed to be there. And you're a citizen. Right. Yeah, Orange Man bad. He is bad. He's the worst president we ever had. It just is what it is. Watch the economy. Watch the economy go down the drain. Okay? I'm struggling. Really? I'm struggling. You're crashing out. Calm down. So, the other day, we had a gentleman shoot at law enforcement. And he killed 2 people and wounded another person. Yeah, watch the stuff go up. Okay? Watch our prices, groceries, all that go up. Since your genius president is such a genius. Okay? Watch everything start to go up. Because your genius president decided he was going to implement tariffs, which are a tax. Okay? It just is what it is. Now we in the middle of it. We're in the middle of it because we got a goofy president. But that's okay. That's okay. We're just going to ride it out. Okay? And the whole point is we're going to have people doing the same thing they've been doing. Shooting at the president, acting up, shooting at ICE agents, people joining ICE, young people joining ICE. Okay? And the whole point is we wouldn't even have to have done this if we would have just gave them amnesty. If we just would have gave people amnesty. Okay? But we didn't. We didn't give them amnesty, so now we don't know what we're going to do with all of these 13 million people. Okay? And nobody knows what to do with these 13 million people. But, hold on. So, we don't know what we're going to do with these people. And now we in the middle of it. And we have people shooting at the freaking police. So now we don't know what to do.
To bring all those individuals who are responsible to bring them to justice and to hold them accountable.
One ICE detainee is dead, 2 others injured after a gunman opens fire at a Dallas ICE facility. Police say the shooter was positioned on a nearby roof and fired at the building and a transport van. The gunman is dead as police now search for a motive.
You notice all these are white boys, right? All these are white boys doing all these shooting, right? All the white boys. That's y'all folks. Them y'all folks cracking up. See, they goofy just like y'all goofy.
What was on, and then my neighbor across the street from me had texted me and told me what was going on, and it's just, you're kind of shocked and amazed that it could happen that close to you.
Neighbors react as investigators swarm 2 homes connected to the suspected shooter, one in Collin County, one in Oklahoma. What we've just learned about the suspect's past.
There you
The
got
Department of Homeland Security says it will increase security at all ICE facilities. More from investigators and what officials are now saying about the detainees caught in the attack. Investigators are trying.
Well, the thing is, the president upped their budget. The budget for ICE, the budget has been raised. So now they got unlimited access to do whatever they need to do. Okay? That's the whole point. They have unlimited access to do what they need to do. Okay? And they have unlimited power. They can get as many people as they want. The whole point is we don't want our young people on the front lines like that. We want people who have had experience doing these kind of things. Okay? We want to have people who have experience with this kind of activity. Because they don't know how to deal with homegrown terrorism. People don't know how to deal with that. Okay. A sniper opened fire from a nearby rooftop on a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Dallas field office. The shooter fired indiscriminately at the ICE building, including a van in the Sallyport where the victims were shot. Okay. 3 detainees were shot. 1 detainee is dead, and the other 2 are in critical condition. The gunman was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Okay. It was an attack on law enforcement. Okay. This is not the first attack of this facility. Last month, there was a bomb threat. No, he didn't say it was a lefty. Don't start that bullshit. Ain't nobody saying nothing about X, Y, and Z, Daniel. That's how shit gets started. Okay. All I'm saying is, I get that he might be a lefty. He may be a lefty. Who knows what he is? I'm more than willing to concede that point. Okay? We're more than willing to concede our point. These are shell casings found at the anti-ICE message, had the anti-ICE, the words anti-ICE on those. Right? So my thing is, yes, we have lefties who do things. But what do you righties do? Do you righties do anything? Or is it all lefties? See, I can take my shit. I can be accountable for the lefty shit. Can you be accountable for the righty shit? That's the problem. Y'all don't want to be accountable for the righty shit, but you want the left to be accountable for their shit. I'm taking accountability for the left. You take accountability for the right. Okay? Yes, I believe that's the case. Okay? He was very much against ICE people. No, we're not desperate, dear Daniel. We're not desperate at all. That you all are desperate. You all are desperate for us to like you. We don't like you. We don't like you because this is how you talk. Because you talk 2-point crazy. When you get an opportunity to talk reasonable with somebody, you talk crazy to people. That's why we don't like you. We could be talking reasonable. I'm talking reasonable to you, and you're talking far left out of your neck. Instead of talking reasonable, you're talking out the side of your neck. See, every time we talk to you righties hit the skids. You hit the straight up skids. That's why we don't like talking to you righties. Because you lose it. You're emotional. I'm sorry, yes, you're emotional. There you go. That's it. That's the name of it. You're emotional. Stop being emotional. Stop calling me names. And why don't you call your far right shooters names? The ones that shot Charlie Kirk. Why don't you give him a name? He was far right. Almost over there by the gropers. Why don't you give him names instead of giving me names? That's wild. Okay? That's wild. The violence is on the right, and we can prove it too. That's the difference, Daniel McKay. You can't prove yours. We can prove that it's on your side. Okay? We can prove that it's on your side. But then you're too dumb to even look it up. People like you are too dumb to look it up. Because if you looked it up, you'd find out that most of the shooters are on the right side. But you're too dumb to look it up. So I got to keep telling you every 5 minutes. I got to keep telling you where it comes from. Okay? Wait a minute. She says the evidence suggests shooting suspect was very much against ICE officers. Of course. It's a delusional. Of course it is, TTCP. Of course it is. And you're in a delusion yourself because you think delusional. Jesus. Y'all don't read. That's how dumb you sound. Read. Stop saying I'm the one that's delusional. Learn how to read. Man, y'all don't read for nothing. Y'all just come on here and believe everything y'all hear. Everything you hear instead of reading. Okay. Instead of reading. I read, so I hear it, and I see all of these things. I see them just like you. Man, Chat GPT, that's the basics. The Chat GPT is the basics. Y'all act like y'all don't even know how to do Chat GPT and look this stuff up and get information. You just come on here and spout talking points. Just dumb. Okay? Just dumb. There's the evidence, okay, that he was anti-ICE. Anti-ICE doesn't necessarily mean the left. That's why I said. No, you won't smoke me in the debate because I have the truth. You have delusion. The right has the gropers and the left has the furries. I don't know what the furries are. I ain't never heard of it. Okay. It said the alleged shooter was not trying to target a specific area or facility. It was just trying to target the ICE people. Of course, comments from President Donald Trump, the worst president ever. I'm gonna keep saying that because y'all believe everything you hear. So maybe if I keep repeating that Donald Trump is the worst president ever, maybe you'll believe it. Because you believe everything else Goofy say. Y'all believe everything else every other Goofy say instead of doing research. So maybe if I keep saying Donald Trump, the worst president ever, maybe if I keep repeating it, maybe you'll get it in your mind because you believe everything else. Shit, I don't know. No, I don't. I just think your president is the worst president in the world. Or the worst president. Of course I do research, dummy. I don't talk off my ass. You talk off your ass. You show me a fact. As a matter of fact, you show me a fact. I want to see a fact. Give me a link. Okay? Give me a link that shows what I said tonight is a lie. I would love it. I would post it and I would believe it too. If you show me a link that says all of this stuff is wrong, okay? But you can't because you don't read. Wait a minute, hold up. Y'all can't read. Jesus. No, I don't. I just use Elon Musk to get the facts out of Elon Musk. I believe Elon Musk's. I believe his side of the fence. When he talks and he puts stuff up, I believe what he says. You all need to figure out who you believe. Okay. You're the ones that don't use research. Go check out Elon Musk, his Grok thing. But I'm not coming up with goofy stuff. I'm coming up with stuff that's logic and facts. So this young man shot and killed who he shot and killed. On top of that, did they ever come up with the person what the philosophy was for the young man who shot up Charlie Kirk? Did they come up with that philosophy? Did anybody come up with that? Okay. Because I haven't heard anything. Only thing I've heard is he was a trans. So if he's a trans, just because he's a trans doesn't mean he's a lefty, or deals with trans doesn't mean he's a lefty. But people have never been trans on the right hand side. It's always been the left. It's never been a trans person on the right. Ever. Okay? Never. There's never been a trans person. That's just dumb. But I'm going to have that conversation. Because if I have that conversation and I tell you, hey, you people on the right have trans people too, they will lose their mind. They will lose their mind.
At Parkland Hospital. Steve, what can you tell us from there?
Good morning. There was a massive police presence out here. In fact, we were trying to get over to the scene, but we had to bail off of I-35 just because it was an absolute parking lot. I'm sure Chip's been reporting in your vantage.
I just want y'all to get a gander. I just want y'all to get a gander of all the homophobia, Islamophobia, immigrant hate, racist hate, trans hate. I just want you to get a gander of all of that hate in the chat. All of that hate in the chat. And these are the people that call them Christian people. Ain't got nothing to do with Christians. They far and away nowhere near Christians, but they call themselves on the right the Christian community. All that hate in the chat ain't got nothing to do with God. Nothing to do with God. None of them do.
This point may even be better than ours at this point. Empire Central closed at the service road. Again, folks trying to get past this scene on 35. We bailed and came here to Parkland. It is the closest.
Don't ban nobody. Don't ban nobody. Don't ban nobody. Because I am standing on the side of Christ and Jesus Christ. I'm doing the things I'm supposed to do. I'm not calling people names except you retards. I ain't doing nothing out of the ordinary. I'm helping the poor. I'm helping the lonely. I'm helping kids. I'm helping elderly. I'm doing all because I believe in helping. Real human beings gave me free will. Real human beings, not a person that may or may not have sentience. Not a person this, that, and y'all the one got hypocrisy. You idiots want to take care of babies in the womb, but you don't want to take care and give kids free lunch. Make this shit make sense to me. Make it make sense.
Trauma center to this scene, and we can expect that this is where folks will be transported. You could hear probably the sirens.
Long as I don't have them, gave me free will. As long as I don't have them.
Behind me, again, tons of police activity out here as folks race to the scene. As I'm sure Sean just reported, we're talking about 3 people shot who were in ICE custody. Right. A male shooter on the rooftop shot himself when approached by law enforcement as the rain.
All these is white boys. All of these are white boys. Breaking them. No, gave me free will. Hey, gave me free will. I will support abortions. I'm supporting abortions. What do you not like? What don't you like? You don't like immigrants. You don't like blacks. You don't like Hispanics. You don't like transphobes. You don't like homosexual. You don't like none of all of that. But you're closer to God than me? I don't think so. I think you're trash. And anybody who has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things like that, they hate. Like immigrant, they hate immigrants. They hate blacks. They hate transphobes. They hate You have all of those. You're trash, and you have nothing to do with Jesus Christ. You're not living the Bible at all. You're trash. If you have all of those, you don't like none of those. No gay, no transformers, no black, no Hispanic, no immigrant. You hate all of those. You're trash, and you have nothing to do with Christianity. I'm more of Christ-like than you are.
Continues to fall here. I can tell you that very much a fluid situation here, and very much expected that these folks would be brought.
That's dumb. One reason, one thing. That's just dumb. One thing. Because I feel like somebody should have the choice to have an abortion. One. You have 5 things that you don't like. That's trash.
Here to Parkland, we can certainly keep you updated on their.
And you support the death of the living. Because people like you don't like kids to have free lunch. You're trash.
All right, Steve Noviello live there at Parkland. We appreciate that. We also want to check in with David Brown, former police chief in Dallas.
Yes, that was white man. Had nothing to do with blacks. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay. Nothing to do with that. It's all black. This all white folks. That's all the hate for the white folk. The white folk hate on hate. White on white crime. Okay. White on white crime. Nothing to do with black folk. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay. Yes, Jesus loved everybody except you righties. Except you righties don't like homosexuals, transforming, gays, immigrants, black folk. Except you righties think you better than the transformers, the gays, the Mexicans, the illegals, the blacks. You think you're better than them. So when you think you're better than them, you're trash.
He's on the line as well. Former Chief Brown, Sean Rabb mentioned this earlier. I don't know if when you hear this scene or if you've seen any of the coverage here.
It don't matter what the Bible say about homosexuals, ding dong. You're still not giving of the poor. You're still not having compassion for the elderly. You're still not having compassion for the poor. You're still not having compassion for the homeless veterans. You giving me shit out of the Bible, and we got real people on this damn. We have real people on this damn ground having problems, and you talking to me about a Bible? You mean you're not Christian? Because you don't give a damn about the homeless, the elderly, the kids that don't have food, the poor. You're trash. That's what you are. If you don't care about those things and you're not doing God's will to help people on this planet, you're trash. Okay.
Does this invoke thoughts in your mind of 7/7?
It really does. And thank you guys for having me on. Making sure you can hear me okay.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, it really does bring back those kinds of memories. But you guys are hitting all the right points when you talk about.
And this is one individual person that has done this. One individual person that has shot up the ICE agents. One individual person, just like one individual person shot up Charlie Kirk. Not a whole bunch of people. Okay? Not a whole bunch of human beings. Okay? Just one person. So we know how to put that down to just one person. I know how to put that down to one person. Do you people know how to put that down to just one person? Or do you blame everybody except yourself? Do you blame everybody except just yourself? Because I just blame Ty Robinson. I don't blame nobody else. I don't sit there and blame, oh shoot, Ty Robinson shot up people. Then let me blame everybody. There was one man who shot Charlie Kirk. There was one man who shot these agents. One human being each. So I'm not going to complain about 3, 4, 5 different folks. No, this compassion is not cherry picked. I have compassion for every person except your goddamn illegal and criminal president. I have compassion for everybody else except your criminal president, who doesn't seem to have compassion for anybody else. Okay? That's it. And when you say, I don't like immigrants, I don't like homophobes, homosexuals, I don't like transsexuals, I don't like immigrants or black people, then you're trash. Because you got a moral compass that's fucked up. And you can't tell me you anywhere near Christ or anywhere near Christ-like, and you hate people like that. I don't hate none of them people. I don't know none of them people. Don't care. I don't give a damn about none of y'all except the elderly, children, handicapped, and the disabled. That's it. I don't give a damn about the rest of y'all. Y'all can go fly. I care about the handicapped, the poor, the elderly, and the disabled. That's it. Now, can you all say the same? Or do you give a damn more about the transformers? Do you give a damn more about the homophobic, the homos? Do you give a damn more about somebody being black or white? I don't give a damn about whether they black or white. I don't give a damn whether they homosexual. I don't give a damn whether they transsexual. I don't give a damn what they are, or immigrant. I don't give a damn about none of them. I care about what Jesus Christ said care about. Care about the homeless, the poor, the elderly, and the innocent. That's what I care about. So I'm more Christ-like than you all are. You're right. The right is trash because they care about all this cultural shit instead of dealing with the regular stuff that's on this damn planet. Okay. Yeah. Y'all sound wild. Wild. I'm tired of you trying to have the upper hand as far as it's called Christianity. You don't have the upper hand. The right is trash because they don't care about regular, ordinary individuals. They care about, oh, you're a transsexual, so I can't vote for the Democrat. You're a transsexual. You're gay. You're an immigrant. You care about all of that shit, but you don't care about the elderly, the handicapped, the poor. I'm more church-like, Christ-like than y'all are, and I'm on the left. I'm like on the left, in the middle left, but I'm on the left. Okay, all of you, the rest of y'all go fly. Okay, because y'all care about somebody being gay, somebody being homosexual, somebody being trans, somebody being black, somebody being X, Y, and Z. Than you do all of this stuff on this planet. All of the people who can't take care of themselves on this planet. You care more about that than you do about the poor people. You care more about a baby in the womb than you do about a kid on the street who can't feed themselves. You're trash. That's how that is. Because you should be caring about all types of people instead of worrying about, oh, he's trans, so I can't vote for her. I can't vote for Kamala because she believes in abortion, instead of worrying about kids who don't have lunch. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. How we have this divide. No, I'm tired of being nice to folks who don't want to feed kids lunch because they worried about whether somebody gonna take their food. Yeah, get the fuck out. Gave me free will. Get the fuck out and look in the mirror. Look in the mirror, Miss Christ-like. You're trash. Okay, she's the only one I'm calling trash because she only cares about herself. She cares about people in the womb. She don't care about kids outside the womb. She cares about kids in the womb, not the kids that are outside the womb. She's trash.
It's just such a live situation right now. You really want to eliminate whether there's any other suspects that's part of this attack this morning on the ICE facility, harming 3 people. Right. So that's one of the top priorities for law enforcement right now, to eliminate any possibility that there's others involved.
And I
feel like we would have heard if they thought there was a second one at this point. I mean,
so Osmos, what kind of solution do you have if all you have is hate? What kind of solution does any of you have if that's all you have is hate? You hate the gays, you hate the transformers, you hate the blacks, you hate the immigrants. If all you got is hate, what kind of solutions can somebody give you? Can't nobody give you no solutions if you don't have any kind of sympathy or empathy for other people. Because that means you're going to stand in the corner and then bitch about the transforms, the homosexuals. Half of y'all don't even know, fucking met no transform. Don't even know who they are. Ain't never even seen them. You worried about shit you may or may not see. I'm worried about those transformers going in the bathroom. And I'm worried about kids who don't have school, who ain't ate dinner, who ate dinner at 6 o'clock yesterday, and they don't have no food to eat when they go to school. That's what I'm worried about. That's what concerns me. I don't give a fuck about a transformer. I care about kids that can't have lunch money. And y'all call yourself Christians. Shut the hell up. If you don't care about, you care about somebody in the womb, you care about a kid in the womb more than you care about the kid who ain't had lunch. Jesus, where's the fucking priorities? That's what I hate about this freaking country. Priorities so fucked up. You worried about whether a transformer go in the bathroom, but let somebody ask you for some money to go in the bath to feed a kid to eat lunch money, eat lunch. Jesus, y'all right on the right. Y'all fucked up priorities. Okay. Ain't no way. I don't have no conversation with people who don't understand that people are poor and they need to be fed, regardless of whether you rather feed, what the hell is it? Feed the goddamn Ukraine, give Ukraine money, or give Israel money than to give goddamn kids money to eat lunch. No, I didn't say you, Osmos. I said the bulk of the right feel like that. Okay. Every time I have a conversation or want to have a regular conversation, I opened up the door. I opened up this stream at 10:30, and all I saw was you nigga. That's all I saw when I opened up this stream. I never said one hateful word to anybody. So when I have people come at me and that's all I see is hurt, hate, and it's coming from the right, then the only thing I can say is your side is trash. Okay? That's trashy, because you need to take a look at yourself. If the first thing you think is, I don't like transformers, I don't like gay people, I don't like black people or white people, I don't like immigrants, you need to take a look at yourself. You need to take a look at yourself and stop calling yourself the Christian right. Stop calling yourself Christians. I don't want to hear nobody that's on the right talk about I'm a Christian. If you don't feel like you should give kids money to have free school lunch, I don't want to hear shit about you being Christ-like or on the right or Christian. I don't want to fucking transform. It's the transgender people. I always say transformer. I keep missing the gender. It's called the transgender people. I call them transformers. And that's not to be rude. It's just that slips off the tongue easier. That's all. I'm saying, don't tell me you're Christian. Don't tell me you're all about Jesus and I love Jesus and I'm religious, and you giving me shit about motherfucker feeding us a kid lunch, getting free lunch. They can take some money off of that damn budget of that Ukraine money they give to Ukraine, the money they give to Ukraine, the money they give to all these other foreign countries. They can take a little bit off that and then feed every kid in the United States lunch. So if you one of those Christians who don't believe in giving people free lunch, don't talk to me about you being a Christian, because you're not a Christian. You're a fake Christian. Okay? Don't talk to me about that. And then you turn around and say, I can't stand the transformers, the transgenders, the gay people. I can't stand the blacks or the whites. I can't stand the immigrant. Don't talk to me about being Christian. I've already age restricted my own video. All of my videos are age restricted because we have adult conversations over here. I don't coddle people. I decided I'm not coddling people. The minute I got to argue with somebody about school lunch for kids for free, I ain't coddling you no more. Okay? Don't talk to me about being a Christian. Don't talk to me about Charlie being a Christian. Don't talk to me about that, because I don't believe you. Okay? I'm not talking to you, Tide Pro. They know who I'm talking about. They're always whispering. They're always trying to hold the God card or the Christian card. Always trying to hold the Christian card or the God card. And they the least like Christian people that's walking the planet. The rights are the least Christian people walking the planets. Specifically, if you don't care about your indigent and your poor. which Jesus said to do. But it's something always in the way that you cannot care about people that are on this planet, care about the poor, caring about the homeless veterans, caring about the elderly, caring about all of that. When you don't care about them people and you care about the homophobes and the transphobes and you care about them more than you care about the homeless and the elderly and the handicapped and kids, don't talk to me about being Christian, because you're not Christian. You're trash. Okay? Because that's what we're put on the planet to help. We're put on the planet to help people that are less fortunate than we are. Okay? No, I open up the stream and I'm being called the nigga word. And I haven't even spoken a word. And then that just set me off. I'm not set off. Not really. I'm just pissed off that I got to deal with morons. I got to talk to morons like they're kids. I got to talk to people like that, like this. When I shouldn't have to talk to people like this. When I shouldn't have to tell you that you're not Christ-like if you don't care about the poor, the indigent, the handicapped, or children having school lunch for free. You can't. If I got to tell you that you're not Christ-like when you don't care about those things, then you're dumb. If you call yourself Christian, this is what you should be caring about instead of worrying about a transformer, a transgender, or gay person, or immigrant. You should be caring about the other things that we have to have. It's America first. I'm America first. I'm America first. I care about what's going on inside my country. I don't give a fuck about Israel. I don't give a fuck about Ukraine. I care about the fact that we got Epstein files is a good thing. Okay. I respect humanity too. And when you tell me you can't afford to help pay for school lunches because they should pull themselves up by the bootstraps. When you tell me that and then you turn around and you give tax breaks to the rich, you turn around and you deify Charlie Kirk. Nah. You're not Christian. You're trash. You're not You're not Christian. Okay? And that's the thing. I'm more Christian than most of y'all because I care about those things. I care about other people. We should care about other people. Okay? $4 billion on healthcare and education in Israel, but they can't drop no money to help poor kids eat lunch. Get the hell on. Y'all get the hell on. No, that's not Christian-like. And then they trying to spout, they trying to make this push for national Christianity. No, fuck that. Y'all ain't Christians. Ain't none of y'all Christians. Y'all heathen, straight up. My name is Heathen Queen. That's what the HQ stand for. Heathen Queen. And I'm the queen of heathens because I know what it is to be a heathen. But you know what? I turn myself around. Okay? And all of these people, we heathens, we Christians, we Christian nationalism. You had Charlie preaching Christian nationalism, but then you didn't care about the homeless. You didn't want to feed the kids. You didn't want to give the kids. Yeah, that's the damn clip I saw the other day. I saw Charlie saying, I don't want to help feed I don't want to help feed school lunches. I don't want to give nobody no school lunch. But this is a Catholic. But this is a compassionate man. This is a man that's Christ-like. But he'd rather give Israel money than to give kids money. So I'm putting you down as trash too. I'm drawing a line on these motherfuckers. I'm drawing a line because I'm drawing a line.
Lunch for all children?
No.
Why?
Of course not. Because parents should feed their kids, not the government.
What if they can't?
Go get a job.
A child?
No, the parents should go get the job.
Yeah.
This is important.
I
don't believe
they have jobs and they can't support their children there because the minimum wage is so low.
No, you are a temp, dude. Don't give me this stuff. First of all, this is really.
I want children to eat.
Of course I do. Show me a single child in America going hungry. Doesn't exist. Number two, we have churches, we have food shelters.
17 million children go hungry. 17 million. And we have people in the chat saying parents should feed their own children. Hey, TJ.
Hey, HQ. You know, when you and I talk like this, when I say you and I mean I talk like this in my private life. Yeah. But when you and I mention stuff like this, especially with guys like Charlie Kirk and Trump, and they in that side of the fence, and they talk the way they talk, claiming Christianity, and we point out the fact that they are being less Christian, you and I are the ones who try to get lynched because we got the audacity to point out one huge glaring fact about their brand of Christianity. I told this the other day. Their brand of Christianity ain't Christianity because there's no damn, individual group of Christianity.
There's no compassion.
No, and that's one of the key tenets. And Jesus never talked about that a man shouldn't work and all that. That's one of the things he said: a man don't work, don't eat. But see, they take that to the extreme. He's talking about a lazy, shiftless man. He's not talking about a man or a family or a woman who's not out here trying to participate in the world economy, and they don't have, and they're not fortunate enough to be in a situation where they can.
Hold on, TJ. Hey, Michelle, I do kinders on the weekend. I'm just doing during the week. I'm doing this, but I normally do subjects and current events. But on the weekend, I still do kinder. I still do her. Okay, go TJ.
Yeah, Jesus, when he says when a man don't work, don't eat, he's talking about a person who's lazy. He's talking about somebody who's lazy. Who's able-bodied, who's just lazy and don't want to, won't get up off the couch, He's talking about that joker. He's not talking about somebody out here who, and they kill me when they start talking about minimum wage, when actually it's only about 2 or 3% of the country that actually earn what we consider to be minimum wage. Mm-hmm. Most people earn above the minimum wage, but given the cost of goods and services and the cost of living, that it makes it unsustainable. And for Charlie Kirk to be sitting there talking about that no kid in this country goes hungry, he cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
It's 17 million people.
Yes, especially HQ. And I'm not trying to beat a dead horse on this,
right?
But all I know more about black folk than I know about anybody else. Especially with the fact that the majority of black children are in a single income household.
Right.
So what the hell you mean? They're going out, I'm not trying to beat up on the women on this particular issue, but when you make the decisions that lead to you being as Evan K. Williams say, a solo parent, there's a higher probability that your children are going to go hungry, especially because black women don't earn that much despite the damn talking points. And let me tell you because you mentioned something about giving all this damn money to Ukraine and all these foreign aids and stuff.
Right.
Let me tell you something, HQ. The best thing that ever happened to Donald Trump was him not getting reelected. And let me tell you why that was the best thing for him. During Trump's first term, there was only one major legislation passed in his first term, and that was that diabolical tax credit tax break that they that tax bill that they passed. That tax bill only a 0.5% of the country benefited from that tax bill, and it was mostly Fortune 500 corporations. You had corporations like AT&T, Time Warner, Google. All of these countries, they got billions of dollars in tax breaks, and then they disguised it with giving the lower income people a temporary increase in the child tax credit and a temporary increase in the in your minimum your deduction, your minimum deduction. It was temporary. It was only temporary for a couple years, and it was going to go away.
Right.
What happened? The thing that happened when all of that went away, it went away within the first term of Joe Biden's term. That's when it went away.
Right.
And when that went away, then the bill for that it was like $1.8 trillion tax credit that was to the top 0.5% of the country. When that bill came due, that's when the damn bottom fell out for everybody. But see, because Trump wasn't president when it happened,
right?
They blamed Joe Biden and his administration when he had nothing to do with it. And that's what made it crazy for me, and which led to, on top of the Democrats screwing up, which led to Trump being elected this time. So the best thing that happened for him being president right now was him not getting reelected, because had he gotten reelected,
right,
and the bottom fell out like it fell out in Joe Biden's first year, they'd have been running Trump out of that White House with a pitchfork.
Well, let's hope they run him out of there come 2026.
Well, they're gonna. He can't run again. But I'm just saying. But JD Vance, and so we still get HQ. Do you not realize we are not even 1 year into Trump's term,
and we in trash country? I know.
And so it feels like we're in his third year, but we're only 9 months into this man's presidency, and it feels like it's been an eternity already for him. But no, back to the Christians, these so-called Christians who come out here spewing what they're spewing, the way that and their cavalier attitude and dismissive attitude about being, about compassion it kills me.
That's what when I see a right hand or Republican or right person on the right talk, they don't talk with any kind of compassion, and they sound like monsters. You don't have compassion, you sound like a monster to me, because I don't understand how you sit there and say we can give money to the rich, we can give money to Ukraine, we can give money to Israel, but we can't give money to our own people, and yet they're spouting about America first. If you're spouting about America first, then everything in America should come first. We should all be in abundance. Everybody should be in abundance here.
HQ, let me tell you something. The amount of money that the United States government has given to Ukraine could have wiped out the student loan debt in this country.
They can't even see that. And
I'm not advocating, because there's a fight about that. But if you wanted to really make America first, all of that money, I don't know where the hell that money came from, because they were crying broke. All of that money, but see, what do Ukraine and the dominant culture here have in common? HQ, they're all white.
Yeah.
Israel, they're white.
Right. Yeah, but you consider yourself America first. So is it America white first?
Yes.
Or is it America? Is it all America first?
That's why HQ, any platform I can go on, and I consider myself to be like a middle. I'm the middle of the road, but I lean conservative. But I gotta I gotta explain to black folks.
Hold on, TJ. Osmos, we didn't send money. We sent machinery. We sent machinery to Ukraine.
And money.
And we sent money, but a smaller portion was money. But most of it was machinery. Okay?
It was like $6 or $8 billion in money we sent over there. No. We sent a lot of money.
Yeah. We sent money, but I'm saying the bulk of the money, the bulk of the expense was machinery.
Yes, but I'm in the center, but I lean conservative. But I often got to remind other black conservatives that black conservatism and white conservatism, they're not the same. Right. We just share the word, but what it actually looks like in practice, it is not the same. We have no space as black folk. We have no room in the white conservative world. What they value is drastically different than us.
Right.
But black conservatives will sit there and align themselves with these white conservatives when their missions are not aligned. I don't understand how they don't understand that.
It's because they for some reason, because it's on the right. But no, I understand it perfectly. I spelled it out. What I said was they care more about transformers, gay people, immigrants, and being racist. They care more about that than they care about the indigent, the poor, the elderly, and the handicapped. That's it. That's all. Because if you care about the indigent, the handicapped, the elderly, and the war veterans, you would be a Democrat. Because all the other shit don't matter. I don't give a fuck about a transformer, TJ, because I ain't fucking one.
There you
I
go.
ain't never gonna fuck one.
There you go. And HQ, let me tell you something. If Jesus was walking around today, they would crucify his ass all over again.
Yeah.
Think about what Jesus actually did, how he actually preached, what he valued. He doesn't value anything that these so-called right people on the right actually value. They would crucify him all over again.
Because I keep saying, y'all not espousing Christian values when you don't care about. If I got to argue with you about feeding children who might be starving, and I get it. They shouldn't have had the babies. They shouldn't have had them because they was too poor to have them. They too poor to take care of them. But we passed that point.
Can I tell you something, HQ?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My lady friend that I was dating, she has a son the same age as my daughter. And so we had a real nasty fight one night because they were spending the night over here and he wanted something to eat. And he kept asking her, he kept going in the refrigerator and like she popped off at him about just walking in the refrigerator and getting what he wants. And I told her, and this was a shock to her system because a lot of people don't think this way. I said, there's not a kid that walks through my door that has to ask for anything in that damn refrigerator.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't care if it's my kid, my relative, your kid, you know what I mean, HQ? Mm-hmm. If you walk in my house, now you as an adult got to fucking ask me, but for yourself, you know what I mean? But there's not a kid that gets invited into my house that has to ask for a bottle of water, some strawberries, peanut butter and jelly, whatever is. I don't drink alcohol, so I can literally say whatever's in that refrigerator, they don't need to ask for it. I don't want not a single child that walk in my house have to sit and figure out, be hungry or thirsty or whatever and think that they have to ask for that when that's just a basic human right for a kid.
Right.
And there are people there. This woman was literally, she thought it was like she was teaching him manners. Like she was like, he being rude. No, that's not being rude. I don't believe a kid should have to ask for something to eat. Go get it.
Right.
Go get it. And if it's something in there that I was saving for myself or whatever, and they ate it, I'll get over it. You know what I mean? I'll get over it. It's not no big deal. Now you take your big overgrown ass up in there, we gonna have a problem.
That's crazy. Wait a minute, hold on. Osmos, you said you looked something up. What did Biden send? Biden sent military stuff. That was the bulk of what he sent. Military. He sent military. I just looked it up. They sent mostly military thing. They sent money to help the people and the government survive, and they sent weapons and stuff. And they sent more weapons and stuff than they did money. Okay? Money was like 35 billion.
Good God.
The weapons was 65 to 70 billion. That was missiles, tanks, drones, all that. The money was 35 billion. Food, medicine, shelter, tents, that was about 30 billion. And in restocking our military bases was like 20 billion. So what they sent over there to Ukraine was basically 35 over there was about 65 billion was military stuff, tanks. And then the money, the cash was 30 to 35 billion. That's what they sent over there.
And that's our money, HQ.
Mm-hmm. That's our money. Look what they spent there. They said food, shelter, medicine was 25 to 30 billion. You mean to tell me they can't take 1 billion and feed the homeless kids that go to school, have school lunches? You mean to tell me they can't shave 1 billion off and do that?
Yeah, they can. And they can. They don't want to, HQ. And you know why. They associate free lunch, free school with black. But the poorest people in the United States, HQ, are white people. It's white people.
But they have other people in this country too that they have to concern themselves with.
Right.
That's the whole point. The whole point is yes, I get it. Their focus is trying to be on Christian nationalism, but we cannot allow them to do that. As immigrants, as Mexicans, black, Hispanic, other whites, we are the biggest majority of the group, the majority of the country. We are. So we need to put it into play where we can't have that. We cannot do that. We need certain things that we need of a different party. That's what we need. We need a different party because the Democrats is trash right now. Democrats is trash. I'm going to say it. I'm a Democrat. I'm on the left-hand side. I'm a Democrat. I will say that if you want to look at it that way, I'm a Democrat. 9 times out of 10, I'm independent. But right now, they trash. And we need a whole nother party because this is not working for me.
Speaking about the Democrats being trash, HQ, did you see what Kamala Harris said, about why she didn't pick Pete Buttigieg to be her running mate?
Why? No, I didn't see her interview because I'm upset with her. What?
This motherfucker, HQ, I hope you're sitting down. I know you are. This woman said she didn't pick Pete Buttigieg, whatever the hell you say his name, to be his running mate because he was gay.
Yeah. Yes. But see, that's part of the reason why we lost anyway. Is because on the other side, they demonized the gay people. That's why she couldn't pick him.
She could have picked him. Here's my thing, HQ. The biggest indictment against Democratic politicians is that they don't stand for anything.
There you go.
Good, bad, or indifferent. Them fucking Republicans, good, bad, or indifferent, no matter how evil their platform may be, they stand on it.
Right.
And them jokers ain't even gotta like each other.
And look you in the eyeball and light their ass off like they telling the truth. I know. That's why
they didn't even like each other.
Right. That's why I say Democrats is trash. And
so even though I think the outcome for Trump would have been the same, if that's who she wanted, she should have had the nuts, which not even the men in the Democratic Party got the balls. Right. They should have just stood on what she wanted. That's why the majority of Americans don't like Democrats, is because the motherfuckers are easily persuaded and they won't fight back.
Right.
They won't fight back, especially when they're right.
I'm mad, TJ. I'm mad. I believe in the principles that the Democrat espouse. I do.
And let me tell you something.
Trash right now. They trash right now.
Remember when Trump was running the first time, and he was on a debate stage, and he was standing next to Ted Cruz. And Ted Cruz was like right behind Donald Trump in the poll, and Donald Trump insulted Ted Cruz's wife to his face. Yeah. Let me tell you what would have happened if Ted Cruz could have been the president of the United States. All he had to do was turn around and hit him in a fucking mouth.
There you go.
On national TV. Yep. Hit his ass in the fucking mouth on national TV. Yeah, he would have went to jail. Yeah, he would got arrested. But every man, black, white, red, blue, Democrat, Republican, would have voted for him, and their women would have voted for him because Ted Cruz would have done something that is ingrained in every man. You cannot disrespect my woman in my face and get away with it.
And that's why he ain't recovered since.
And Donald Trump wasn't the president then. He was just a candidate. And Ted Cruz was standing right next to him.
Right.
And he should have just... look, even if they would have been able,
I would have even respected. I would have even respected the man. I would have looked at him and said, maybe, man, maybe, because you at least can stand up to somebody. But you let him call your wife a name, bro. Just
right in your face.
In your face. I can't respect that.
He should have, even if he didn't connect, he should have swung on that joker.
Right.
He should have swung on him, rushed him. He should have been a man before he was anything else at that point. Ted Cruz in that moment is no different than the entire Democratic Party. Right. They won't stand for what's right. Sometimes you got to stand on what you stand on.
Right. And then the rest of it, because we will look at you differently. If you said, I ain't passing a damn thing until we do X, Y, and Z, the American public would at least stand. I ain't doing nothing till you give free lunches for the next 5 years to children. The American public would stand with you. Most of the American public would stand with you, but they won't stand on nothing. They don't stand on nothing. They ain't been standing on nothing.
As a man, what Ted Cruz didn't do in that moment, if his woman was an attractive woman, which she's not, but if she was an attractive woman, what Ted Cruz did in that moment is let every man that's circling around his woman know that his woman can be got. Because what woman is going to really respect a man who won't defend her?
Right.
He opened up a door that, I don't care if you get your ass whooped, you don't let nobody do that to you, to your woman in front of you, even if you take an ass whooping. And I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand how she still screws that man.
Yeah, this is a man thing. Don't be putting this on the left side. This is a man thing. This is a man thing that Cruz should have stood up for.
Yes.
This ain't got nothing to do with left or right.
No.
This was a man thing.
This was a man thing, absolutely. But I'm just saying his behavior and not standing up is indicative of what the Democrats do all the time. They don't stand for nothing. That's why people are so disgusted by them. Right. The stuff that they do stand for is so crazy.
Right.
It's so crazy you can't get behind it because it's craziness.
But see, that's the thing. I'm also a Democrat. I believe in certain things. I'm not fighting for trans rights. I'm not fighting for gay rights. I'm not fighting for none of those kind of rights. I'm fighting for the 4 things that I've been saying since I've been on here. And that is they should have had that focus. They should have kept that focus instead of being bought out by corporate dollars, because they're all bought out by corporate dollars. Okay, they're all bought out by corporate dollars. And right now, that's all I keep saying in my head. Every time I get near, every time I think about the Democrat, y'all trash, man. We need a whole nother party. We need the independent party. We need the poor man's party. We need some kind of party.
Which was supposed to be the Democratic Party.
Right.
If you go, and I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole, but if you go look at the history in which parties, the Republican Party was always the party of big business. The Democratic Party was always the party of the common man. Now you can't tell the difference. The Republican Party has somehow convinced the common man that they are for them when the Republican Party is still the party of business. But they've convinced the common man that they fight for them. Trump calls himself a goddamn common man.
Yeah, but they had people like Charlie Kirk running around the country talking to bobbleheads on campuses and having debates about culture stuff.
Yes.
Instead of having debates about poor, the homeless, what we should be doing about money going overseas, what we should be doing about money doing X, Y, and Z. They're having culture war, and then now everybody's concerned about culture stuff, which stuff that don't even make no sense. It don't make a difference. We are in the middle of a recession, or we're about to be in the middle of a recession, because all of these young Gen Zers decided that they were going to vote for Trump, and Trump ain't did a damn thing for them, and ain't finna do a damn thing for them.
No.
That's what they don't get. He ain't finna do a damn thing for y'all young kids.
Yeah, because they believe that they're the entitlement generation. This is crazy. It's like we're living in the damn Twilight Zone. Maybe I didn't got too old. I don't know. With me being in my 40s now, maybe I didn't got too old. But I feel like I'm in the damn Twilight Zone sometime. Listening to this crap that they spilling, and listen to guys like Charlie Kirk, 31 years old.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I got siblings his age.
It would never even cross my mind to think that he could. But he talked. He went to campuses and he talked to these young kids, and people heard about him. Oh, he telling the truth about black people. Oh, he telling the truth about single baby mamas. Oh, he telling the truth about X, Y, Z. And then they wrap it up into Christian nationalism, and they wrap it up into that Christian shit that they think they Christians of. And then now you got a ticking bomb.
Yeah, and the biggest lie he said when he said that there are more black, that the largest population of men in prison are black, which is a damn lie, which is an absolute lie. But that's been the narrative since the 1980s.
Yeah,
and it's an easy trope.
And this is the weird part right here, TJ. These people got computers at their hand, a fingertip.
And they can look it up.
And then they sit there and listen to everything that Charlie Kirk was saying, and none of them decided that they was going to look on the internet and look up no statistics. So every time they heard it 1,000 times, and they believed everything he said.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you had to do was look this stuff up and Google it. Look it up. Okay. So I'm saying to you, every time I get on internet, I'm gonna start saying your president is trash. Your president is trash. Your president is trash. Maybe they'll believe what I'm saying instead of looking things up. And once you look it up, then you'll find out that your president is trash, right? But they don't never. It's like, look, y'all got a computer right there at your hands. They can tell you the truth about everything. The computer can give you can look up 10 sources and then you will figure that out. But they listen to Charlie Kirk. Charlie had an agenda. He got paid to have an agenda. He got paid to say the things that he said. There's no way. I'm not convinced. I am truly not convinced that he was a part of the Christian. He was anything near what God wanted him to be.
Oh, absolutely.
No, he wasn't. Because
let me say something to you about black men that voted for Trump. I got into a huge conversation with my ex-wife about this because she was in denial about the volume of black men that were going to be voting for Trump. And she was like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? And I said, you have to understand something about that a lot of black women either don't understand or refuse to accept that a lot of black men feel so damn disenfranchised with amongst our own women who go out their way to trash our image. These and the Republican Party spoke to the anger and disenfranchisement of these black men.
Right.
And my ex-wife was like, but don't they see, but they rather go there and then just try to work it out over here. I said, baby, you got to understand something. And I said, you might have a hard time with this, but from the black man perspective, and I said, are you talking to one that you were married to? And you did the very thing to me that the black men are complaining about. I said, you have to understand something. Your black man, from your black man's perspective, we've been thirsty in a drought for 30, 40 years. And now all of a sudden somebody coming with some dirty water. Yeah, we know that water dirty, but we thirsty.
Right.
That's what the hell you think we gonna do?
Right.
The Democratic Party ain't coming talking to us. Stacey Abrams got her monkey ass on TV.
Right.
And trashed black men that she needed to. If Stacey Abrams, this last time she ran for governor in Georgia, if she would have never opened her mouth about what black men were or were not doing, she would be the governor. All she had to do was repeat the same thing she did the time that she lost, and she would have won this time. But she felt the need to come out and lecture and talk shit about black men in her state.
Right, right.
And then sit around and pretend like they don't understand why black men went the other way. Stop.
Yeah, but you like you all said, you all say to me, just because I give you a little smoke, don't mean I don't like y'all. Like y'all tell me when y'all give women smoke, that don't mean y'all don't like women. So that don't mean she don't like men.
But you have to understand, and here's where the understanding between the black man and the black woman is hard to heal. while your statement HQ is true, how do you convince that of a group of people who've been dog walked by their women for 40 years?
I can say the same thing about how men talk about black women.
But then from black men's perspective, we haven't said anything about you for 40 years.
Oh yeah.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you what we don't need to get into.
No, I mean I get your portion. I get your portion, but I'm saying
from our perspective, as a group, we have not had the national platform to actually dog walk your image the way you have. Now, I will say in the last 5 to 10 years, black men have become more vocal about their experiences, interpretation of those experiences, but that does not compare to the near 40 years. And not only we can take that shit from white America, but the fact that you were out there doing it with them, and then you get a guy like Trump and the Republican Party right now who's all about power, who don't give a damn about me, you, Ben Carson, or Tim Scott, but they care about the number so they can keep their power. They actually bring us a cup of dirty water, and because we're so damn thirsty, we drink it.
I see where there was a portion of, but what was the difference between the black men that voted didn't vote for Democrats and voted for Biden? Do you know the amount, the difference?
What do you mean?
You know, it was 88%, but it was 82% black men voted for Kamala this year.
It was 80% that voted for black men for Kamala Harris.
Right.
Joe Biden still got about 90%, but it was still down like 7%.
Okay.
So it was trending down anyway.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The biggest portion that moved towards the Republicans was these young people who don't have nothing in common with no Republican Party.
But we have to understand. But these young, especially young black,
not young black. I'm talking about young, totally, all of them.
Yes,
all of them. They all, black and white, got a specific message. Where did they get that message from? That the Republicans was cool. Where did they get that message from?
Well, you know, we got a culture of
internet folks.
The internet. Well, you know, it's all about the dollar, all about the bling, and so Republicans are always talking about economics, finance, money.
Wait a minute, unique but great. Are you crazy? Unique but great. Are you crazy? What in the hell? Ooh, I'm sorry.
I don't. In HQ, I wish I had like the magical solution to all of this, but we don't, because it's such a complex, you know. Right. It's basically like a pot of gumbo that got us here. Right. But there are some foundational pieces that we got to talk about. But wrapping a lot of stuff into Christianity is diabolical.
How the hell are we going? See, it's just I'm allergic to Republicans. No, I mean I'm allergic to Republican platform, not the Republicans. Republican platform. So what do we do now? Ain't Jemima bitch made nigga paying?
What do we do now?
Yeah, what do we do now?
HQ.
That we know the Republicans are not our choice, and the Democrats ain't our choice.
HQ.
What do we do?
To be, and maybe this is me being jaded. HQ, I think we're cooked.
You think we cooked?
Yeah.
What does it take to start a new party?
2 people to agree. To agree to start a pub.
God damn it! I want to start a new party so fucking bad.
There are more than one party in this country. HQ.
Yeah, but those are trash too.
Yeah, you know, you got the Green Party, the Libertarians. You got other people, but we've settled into this 2-party system, election system, And I don't think either party would allow a third party to rise to prominence. But let me tell you something, though. The group that has the highest chance of rising into a third party is Trump's MAGA branch.
I don't want them to be representing.
I didn't say that we want them. I said they have the highest likelihood of becoming a third party. That extreme version of it. And don't think it can't happen, because look what happened in Germany with Hitler. They were a third party. They were a small third party. They convinced that small third party convinced the entire nation that their problems were the Jews in their country.
How do we outsmart these rich motherfuckers? That's what I'm always thinking about, ways to outsmart these rich.
Because here's the thing, you would need to do something that's probably impossible to do, which is convince working class white men that we're not their fucking enemy.
Shit, that would be the problem.
The key to their base is working class blue collar white men. Because their wives will go wherever they say they go. Because Obama was elected on the backs of blue collar white women, suburban white women elected Barack Obama, and those same fucking group of women elected Donald Trump because their husbands told them to. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But see, blue collar middle class white men believe everybody that's not them is their enemy because the Republican Party has said so, which is not the truth. They don't understand that their enemy is the damn party that's telling them that everybody else is the damn enemy.
See, neither party is representing the poor folks.
None.
Neither party is representing the poor
but
folks.
The Republican Party has a better messaging for that group than anybody else.
Absolutely.
And they're tapping into a white man's insecurity.
Right.
White man's insecurity with black folk or brown folk it's foundational to the country.
Right. Right.
My grandmother, and I'm being a little, no, I don't know if the word facetious is the right facetious, but my grandmother, who's 80-something years old, she goes, as long as the white man is jealous of the black man's dick, you're always gonna have a problem.
God.
My grandmother said that. I was like, what? She said,
yeah. So how do we do it? How do we even do it? How do you even because I don't see nothing change. I see people getting what they want out of Washington and us. Do you know what we could afford? We could afford for every person to have decent place to stay. Kids have food. Veterans have housing. The elderly could be. I saw a special the other day of what they do with the Chinese people when they get older and they single and whatnot and they older. They have housing for them. You know, a housing facility where they all stay, a nice neighborhood X, Y, and Z. When they become older, they have places to stay and they don't have to worry about paying no rent because they don't have any money.
HQ, let me explain something to you.
I don't understand what's going on with this country.
Here's why they can get, other folks can get stuff out of Washington and we can't. HQ, you and I won't work together. When I say you and I, listen.
You mean women, men and women.
Our brown, yes. We won't work together. People are under the impression that white America has more money than black folk. And I'm telling you, HQ, if you actually look at the numbers, they don't. We out-earn white folk by a lot.
If only we
and I know that's for some people that's listening, they're gonna be like, what do you mean we out-earn? Here's the thing. When they're doing when the government is taking their data and statistics, we're talking about the Census Bureau, you know, the CDC, all of them, when they're doing their data, when they're pulling their data, even these research institutes like the Pew Research Center, when they're pulling their data and they're looking at black folk and white folk economically, when they talk about the average white family, they're talking about a husband and a wife. When they're talking about the average black family, they're talking about the black woman.
Right.
An individual.
Right.
So the average white family earns about $67,000 a year. That accounts for 2 people.
Right.
If black men and black women got over their shit, if we were together, our family would out earn them by almost $30,000, because the average black man is about 50 grand a year. The average black woman is up to 40.
Mm-hmm.
That's $90,000 of income if we decided to get together. That's average income. If me and H, I'm just using us as, decided to get together,
right,
we out earned the fucking average white family in our neighborhood. Because the average white family, even though their woman is still in the workplace, they're not in the workplace at the rate we're in at HQ. They're not working the hours that we're working, and I'm going to prove it. I am a registered respiratory therapist.
Mm-hmm.
There are 50 respiratory therapists in my department. There's only 2. I mean, I would say about half of the staff. It's almost I would say about 30, 35, 40% of the staff are
mm-hmm.
white women.
Mm-hmm.
There are only 2 white women in that department that are working full time, and one is the manager and one is the supervisor. All of the other white women that work there, they only work part time, because every last one of them has a husband.
Has a husband, right?
If I am one of 2. Now the rest of the department, so 60% of the department is black. I am one of 2 black men in that damn department. So guess who the rest of the other people are in the department? They're black women.
Black women, yeah.
HQ, I am on paper there. I'm a part-time staff member on paper. That's 2 days a week. HQ, I am mostly in that damn building 5 days a week. You know who else is in there with me 5 days a week?
The ladies.
The black women.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So my thing is this. If we had that kind of purchasing power in one house.
So if I can, I'm just going to throw out some basic numbers. Let's just say I can bring home in a paycheck. Let's just say I can bring home let's just say I can potentially bring home a $6,000 or $7,000 paycheck in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I can probably bring home that. I can probably bring home that much too.
Yeah. So if I'm working, so let's say I'm in a relationship or married to one of the other sisters in the department with me, and we both bringing that home. That's a $14,000 per paycheck. We're talking $28,000 a month in combined income versus the white woman who's only working 2 days out of the week, and in her 4 day, so her paycheck is about $1,400.
Okay,
but because and the sisters in that work there, HQ, they wouldn't give me a
time of day
for nothing,
right?
For nothing, and talk to me crazy. I've had them try to separate me from my employment way more than the white women. The white women are fucking nuts on the job. You know what I mean? But if we worked together, if we figured out a way to get over our own shit,
right?
We get away, get over our own shit and cooperate with one another. HQ ain't well, first of all, it would scare the shit out of the power structure. They probably will that probably would be the catalyst to start the next damn civil war if black folks started reforming some kind of family unit, because we would outperform them in every measure. But we won't do it. Right. Our women won't cooperate. Our men won't figure out how to get our women to cooperate. We've turned our backs on each other. It ain't just because, yes, a lot of our women are out of order, HQ, but we also, as black men, don't know how to relate to our women anymore either, because we were raised to be separate individuals, and we spend our entire lives warring with each other.
Right. And the power of the collective, I don't see how we get past this. See, and it would take years of building unless we just unless there was just like a magic wand that hit everybody's brain that said X, Y, and Z. Short of doing that, I don't see us pulling it together. Not in my lifetime. I just don't see them pulling it together.
HQ, I just told you that I can bring in possibly in a paycheck about from working that much. I don't want to be working that much, but from working that much, because I do work that much.
Right.
There's this young lady. I'm 45. She was like maybe 36. She worked in housekeeping. I thought she was cute, smart. I approached this chick about doing something. This woman told me, "Why would I date you and you working here? You broke like me." Oof. She's a housekeeper.
Right.
She has no concept.
Right.
I mean, if it's about money, you know what I mean? Let's say if it's just about the money, and she was worried about the money. She doesn't understand that my one paycheck is more than she make in about 2 months.
That's amazing. How you even fix your mouth to even. That's amazing.
But see, we dismiss each other. Right. And I tell you every time, white women, they go to school and they go to work to find a damn husband. It is crazy work. And they do it in their 20s. Let me tell you something. When they start getting around, I work in an emergency room. So I got all of these freshly minted new nurses in there. They're all in their mid-20s. And a lot of them are around in 27, 28. These women in there are scoping men like they mining for gold, and they can see it at the bottom of the lake. You hear me? They don't give a damn about jeopardizing the job. They all about getting that husband, getting that family, not having to be there every day. Listen, the charge nurse that runs the ER, she's a white girl. She's 28 years old. She's married to a security guard. You know, the security guard don't make no damn money.
Sure don't.
Last night, this charge nurse was talking to me about the fact that she was going to Chicago, and she was like, "Yeah, I almost." And then as she's talking to me about it, her husband, who works there in the security guard, he's walking up. He's walking up because she's about to get off early because she went to Chicago today, but he's coming to say, you know, because he's going to be there to 7 o'clock in the morning, but she'll be gone by the time he get off work. So he's basically coming to say, you know, have a safe trip, all this. But as he's walking up, she's making a statement to me. Yeah, I almost couldn't go to Chicago because I spent so much money, and my husband, you know, was getting, he just got really upset with me. And then he's walking up and he hears her. And he was like, "You're damn right. She ran through her allowance, and she want to take our money out of our savings account or our joint debit account to go to Chicago." No. She had to return a whole bunch of stuff she got from Amazon so she can afford. This woman out earns that charge nurse out earns this man by 4 or 5 times. And she was sitting there to her husband, listening to him about the finances, and she dog walks him in the income department. He's controlling her income, and you know, God, you know damn well if first of all, if that had been the black nurse, she would not be married to no damn security guard.
Right.
She would rather be married to the dope boy on the street than a damn security guard. Let alone let him control the finances, and you out earn him 3 times.
See, we're gonna have to work around. We're gonna have to figure something out. Because this is we just going to have to figure something out, because what we're doing is not
working.
It's not
working.
It
ain't working for none of us. It ain't working. And here's the thing. I'm at the space, you know, we're in the space, this relationship space on Black YouTube.
Right.
At this point, the men, you're right. The ladies, you're right. Now what?
Yeah, that's exactly what I be saying, TJ. Now what?
Yeah, our women, they're fucked up.
Right.
Yes, our women are bringing these low-life men's children to a relationship. Yes, men, we do what we do. Yes,
yeah,
but we're both out here losing.
I've been saying that. That's what got me out of the relationship space, is because I hear one side saying it's your fault. I hear another side saying it's your fault. And I'm be like, now what? Because if you keep saying, yeah, here, we ain't getting nowhere. We still standing here.
HQ, my mother is 63, 64. Are you in her age range? Are you in her demographic?
No, she's older than me about 7-8 years.
Okay. So that means, okay. So my generation, and maybe closer to yours, well, you're just a little bit outside of it. My generation is the complete victims of the decisions like our mothers and grandmothers have made.
Mm-hmm.
We're the complete victims of it.
Right.
So, but my generation is out here at war with each other about shit that we didn't do.
Right.
We can fix it, and
right.
we've taken up the fight of a generation who fucked us.
Right.
We've taken up their fight.
Right.
And we're the victims of it.
Mm. It's a mess.
It's a mess. And that translates to everything you're talking about. Right. The political stuff with how we vote. Right. How we let outside people like Charlie Kirk and his rhetoric influence what we do and how we relate to one another. Because
they spoke when you need somebody to speak to you, you listen to these kind of things. When you need someone, and this is how we got a Charlie Kirk. We got our people listening to a Charlie Kirk and listening to these influences that I don't understand what they be talking about. Victim mentality. What's a victim mentality, TJ? Can you explain that to me? I don't understand what that means.
That I kind of do because I suffered from it for a while. It's basically whenever there's something that goes wrong, you find another way to blame. You try to blame the external source that instead of looking at yourself and what you did to contribute to it first. And the outcome might be, yeah, you were just in a bad situation, but then the victim mentality wouldn't even look at how do I not put myself in a situation where those circumstances come up again. You know what I mean? Even though I didn't really do that to myself, that this is external, but what collective decisions that I made put me here. Somebody with a victim mentality won't even do that. It's just, this happened to me. It's like, have you ever seen somebody or been around somebody and you go, damn, it's always something with you. You know what I mean? Right. Even though it might not be literally their fault, but every time you look up, it's like something. Right. It's always something going wrong.
But see, that's not a victim, and that's not really.
But I'm talking about, and the fact that they sit around and they always got a reason why something is going wrong. Eventually, hearing, them not figuring a way to stop that cycle. If you're in a pattern where every time you look around, something's going wrong.
I get all that. I get what you're saying.
Like the victim mentality is a person who would never stop to see if there's something that they're doing. The victim mentality just wants somebody to feel bad for them or help them continually make excuses for why things are happening to them. I was in my 20s, even though I was put out in my 20s and just did not have any foundation to handle real life stuff. But every time I looked up, I was either being evicted, or this was happening, or I was losing a job, or this person was doing that, or this person was doing that. Right. I always had a reason why it was happening to me. Even though I think the majority of it was the circumstances, but it wasn't until one day I just said, I'm tired of shit happening to me. So therefore, I'm going to control everything that I output.
Yeah, but we understand that not everybody can control everything, right? We understand.
I know that, but that's...
And we also understand that this victim, now that you explained it to me, I get it. It's not necessarily saying the victim mentality. See, that's how it was in the beginning when people started saying that. Now I get it's a way to shame people into doing something else. It's a way to shame folks because that's how I process it, because now I get it. I get what you say. And sure enough, you always have something happen to you, blah, blah, blah. I get all of that. But sometimes, what about the people that stuff don't necessarily happen to them all the time? What about the people who they specifically call victims? You always crying victim. What specifically do they say that a person is always calling victim to? On the right is always saying something to black people, saying you're always calling victim. What are they talking about there? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's a dog whistle to we always claiming racist. Somebody's racist against us. Or somebody,
and even though it is racist and to a certain regard, and 9 times out of 10 it is racist.
Yes,
that's a way to shame us into saying
it's a tactic for us to accept it,
right?
Yes. And not do nothing
that's
about
what
it.
I thought.
But there are people who have a true victim mentality who won't try to figure out a way to figure it, even within the context of it being racist. Like in my department, the two white women, the supervisor and the manager, are some of the most racist people I've ever worked for. Mm-hmm. But and they tried stuff with me because I know what they are, I know what they're doing, I know they're trying to quote unquote victimize me. Mm-hmm. I use the system against them.
We're not racist. We can't be racist.
I said
racist.
Them.
No, yeah. I'm saying that to somebody in the chat. Critical says black people are racist. No, we're not racist.
No, we can't be. We can be prejudiced.
We can be bigoted. We can be bigoted.
We can be prejudiced. We can be bigoted. We cannot be racist. Racism is a power structure. We have none of that.
Right. So learn your words, sir. Learn your words.
But I learned
y'all think accountability is racist.
But see, here's the thing about the quote unquote victim mentality, HQ.
Of course.
Is that me letting those women do things to me and me knowing they're doing it, mm-hmm. and me not trying to do nothing to mitigate that. Mm-hmm. And then something happens to the job, I'm blaming them. But yet I had a whole buffet of options that I did not seek to mitigate it. And all I want to do is just blame them because I lost the job. You know what I mean? Can be considered a victim mentality. Well, TJ, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? Did you do that?
Well, you got critical. You got critical in the thing saying something about retarded definition that you gave. What was that about?
Because some people don't. Because a lot of conservatives have convinced some black folk, HQ, that racism, it has nothing to do with a power structure. So therefore, you using the definition that that we can't be racist because it's a power dynamic.
Right.
The right has convinced a lot of people that being a racist has nothing to do with power, and it does.
Right. That's it.
Racist, a lot of police, the institution itself, it's racist. It's power. It's unchecked power. Right. Institutional racism. A lot of people don't believe, but it's the truth. But just because it's there, that doesn't mean that you have to accept being victimized by it. There's something you can do. There's something you can do about it.
You know what my whole thing is, when people know about it, when white folks know about it and they don't do anything about it. Those are the white people that I have a problem with. When I know that they know that there's something wrong, but you don't do nothing about it.
Let me tell you who knows black folk better than black folk. White folk. They know us better than we know us. They are in the business of niggerdom. That's their business. They know how we think, how we're gonna react, what to do. They know what buttons to push. They know what motivates us. We are the HQ. I tell people this all the time. We are the most studied group of people in this country. Mm-hmm. We are a walking, talking, living, breathing case study of what to do and not to do.
Right.
And so that's why I don't get a lot of white folk a pass when they talk about they don't understand or policing, when they talk about they need retraining. No, they don't. They know what they're doing.
And they can't tell me they don't see systematic racism.
They do because they created it.
Right. So those are the white people I have a problem with. When you see that shit and you know this happening and you don't do anything about it.
Well, because it doesn't affect them.
And that's the problem, because it doesn't affect you. Yet you don't want to address the fact that there's racism or systematic racism. There's systematic racism in this country. It just is what it is. I can overcome it. I can overcome the obstacles that you put in my way. That doesn't necessarily mean that I don't notice them or don't look at them and my other counterparts that get stuck by some of them. That's it. I mean, I understand it. I get it. But when you don't do anything and you know about it, that's when I have a problem. No, this is not a paranoid channel. Cool G, you're paranoid. We're talking about just everyday issues. You're paranoid.
Right. Good Lord.
I know.
It's like we can't have
what's going on.
And they don't even, HQ, they don't even know that because they don't know the history. You and I have not agreed on a lot of stuff. You know, I've come in the chats on SBC Nation and, you know, completely was like HQ, but you got to be able to have a damn conversation. You got to be able to listen.
This conversation, yes, this conversation is about, it starts out about how maybe we could figure out how we can do something to get out from under this power structure that we got with the rich on one side, the poor, and us poor people on the other. This is what we trying to discuss. How do we get around these people?
We can do it. The answer is simple, but the execution of it is what's hard. White, you know, like I said earlier, middle class white men, you got to convince them that brown people are not their damn enemy.
But we got people in the chat talking about we're the racist of them all. So how are we gonna get the poor? I'm talking about the poor people unite and overthrow these rich motherfuckers who keep taking our money, who keep taking our money and giving it to people overseas, who keep taking our money and won't fix our roads, our houses, our bridges, won't regulate rent, won't regulate bills, won't regulate the electricity, all of these things. This is what we're trying to figure out. We're having conversations about, we're not talking about black and white. We're talking about how we can convince poor white men, poor white women, poor black men, poor black women, how we can freaking convince them that
we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same damn boat.
Instead of saying right versus left, how the hell can we
as long as we're fighting over the race thing down here, HQ, they'll be able to continue to be able to destroy whatever is remaining of the middle class, which I no longer believe we have a middle class.
Gangster butterfly, gangster Buffy, she crazy. No, that's not our goal. But the only way to change what we got going on is that it has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican. Both parties are trash critical. Both parties are trash. That it is what it is. If I could start a different party tomorrow, I would start the poor man's party. And I'd go all across the country and talk to every person in every village, in every hamlet, every hole in the wall to convince them to come over to the poor man's party so we can overthrow these rich motherfuckers and do something for real for this country.
Yeah, Black America is right.
Because the whole point is they don't care about us. Neither party cares about us.
No.
Okay, but we only got a two-party system, so we got to work within the two-party system. But that don't mean we can't advocate to try to get a different party so we can get these folks out of here. Because these folks don't care about us at all. There's no way that you all can be convinced as a Republican Party that they give a damn about y'all and they voted for that big, beautiful bill, and that big, beautiful bill don't help you not one bit.
But the big, beautiful bill.
But the big, beautiful bill, I bet you them rich folks got all the things that they wanted, everything, but not one of us poor. Didn't they tell us that we was going to get $5,000 out of that bill? If they gave the rich people money, they were gonna give the poor people $5,000. I ain't seen no $5,000. Anybody seen any money from them? Anybody seen any benefits from them? Anybody see any of the food go down? Anybody seeing the gas prices go down? Did anybody see anything change? I don't see nothing changing, which means they don't give a damn about the poor people. So seeing as how they don't give a damn about the poor people, I'm not gonna give a damn about them.
Right.
So
HQ. I live in St. Louis County, the county of St. Louis County, which is different than St. Louis City. So we had there's this big old mall by my home. Well, it's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it closed down, and they recently, about 2 years ago, this developer came in and said, hey, I'll buy up the space, redevelop it, commercial, condos, all that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whatever. So the county, which is mostly Democratic, by the way, says, great, we'll give you all of these tax incentives. We'll sell you the land, the property for cheap. We'll give you all these tax incentives for cheap, you know, tax incentives to help you out with this. And this is a large developer. So, you know, the money's not a problem. So they purchased it, started the process of demolition, redid some calculations, went back to the county and said, if you want us to take it down and finish our deal, we're going to need $10 more million to take it down. The Democratic government of St. Louis County gave this developer $10 million of COVID relief funds to tear down a property that they bought. I was the only one at this damn meeting outraged, because I'm thinking to myself,
you're dumb, white man. Wait a minute, hold on. White man from town, you're dumb. If you don't know how to read, you don't know how to deal with markers in the community, you're dumb. And I hate dumb people who come in and say dumb things. That's just dumb. Okay? Food prices have not went down. Who is BLM? You're dumb. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to yourself? Sometimes I think y'all got mental illness, because you don't even address the topic at hand. You just come in and spew you're dumb.
Yep.
You're dumb, because you don't have a legitimate talking point. If you would have researched, you would have found out that food prices have not went down. But you don't know that because you're dumb and you believe you're a follower. So you need to go follow somebody else. We're talking about making solutions over here. We're not talking about spitting talking points and dumb conversations. Like, the food prices went down, when everybody knows the food prices have not went down. Everybody knows the food prices have not went down. You're dumb. Stop saying dumb shit. I'm sorry, TJ. Keep talking.
But I'm just saying, this Democratic government gave this developer an additional $10 million of COVID relief fund that was supposed to go to the small businesses to tear down a piece of property that they bought, and we already gave them tax credits for, and we sold the property to them for like pennies on a dollar.
Right.
So I went to this county council, because my taxes are through the roof over here. I went over there screaming bloody murder. I was like, if you're going to give him $10 million to tear down that property and build and redevelop it, I said, hell, why don't you give me $400,000 so I could tear down my house and redevelop it?
Right.
If that's all it takes to improve the county area, give me $400,000. I could tear my house down, rebuild it, and improve the property value in my damn neighborhood, in my subdivision.
There was
of course, they threw me out of the damn meeting. But I'm just saying, when you say that neither one of these parties give a damn. This is a Democratic.
They don't.
They gave away my tax. HQ, my last damn paycheck. My federal alone, my federal tax withholding was $2,100 from federal alone. They took us from my federal. They took enough out of me from federal to fund a whole nother person's paycheck.
Right.
That's crazy work, isn't it?
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, you get shafted. You get shafted. I don't care what It's like you never get ahead in this.
Never.
You never get ahead here. Why can't our government is supposed to make things easier, not free, but easier for us to access certain things. Easier to say, okay, are we always gonna have a poor class? Is this class always gonna be poor? They just meant to be poor all the time. We just always meant to be chasing the money without being able to pay stuff off. I don't understand why we can't figure out a way to get around to help poor people or help people, middle class people. I just don't understand that. Not at all. And we have the right on the right hand side. That pissed me off when they passed that damn big ass bill. They pissed me off.
Beautiful bill.
Because you took away from it. It's a different story if you just gave tax cuts to the rich. But you cut poor people off of that bill too. You cut stuff off of those poor people. And it had nothing to do with nothing to do with them having fraud, waste, and abuse. That's for the goofies out there. They didn't find where's Doge in this fraud, waste, and abuse money? Somebody please explain to me, what did Elon do with that fraud, waste, and abuse money?
He pumped that crap back into his company.
Right.
He pumped that crap back into his company.
You ain't heard nothing about that money, have you, goofies, for voting for that bill? Because it was not about fraud, waste, and abuse. It was about getting enough money cut out of the budget so they could give tax breaks to the rich people. Now, the rich people ain't giving you shit. I ain't seen nobody passing no money down in no jobs. Y'all got extra money? Anybody getting any kind of bonuses? Anybody getting any extra overtime? Ain't nobody doing no overtime. All of that's cut off. The farmers is fucked up in the game. Where is we winning at? I don't understand where you think we winning at. This is a catastrophe. This administration is a catastrophe.
And black folk better look. We're going to be the first ones that get steamrolled by all this because we won't work together. The black men and black women, we won't find a way to work together.
Right.
We won't HQ.
We won't, because first of all, we would need to figure out where marriage is, how marriage is important, and get together with another human being and decide we're gonna choose to stay and stick it out. But don't nobody want to do that. So
HQ, the lady friend that I was talking to you about earlier, I made her an offer. She makes about $37,000 a year. I said to her, why don't we? Because we had been together for a few years. I said, why don't you sell your house? You move in here. We take your income and we put it in a high yield savings account. We don't ever have to touch it. That's our emergency fund.
Right.
$30,000 a year. She turned me down. She turned me down because she said her 10-year-old son says I'm too strict.
TJ,
this is what we're dealing with out here.
I understand.
And I just looked at her just in. I said,
that was understand OHQ.
A few weeks later, I ended up ending the relationship a few weeks later because that was me. That was my notification that she wasn't into me like that. You know what I mean? So what doesn't matter what her damn son thinks if I'm strict or not. Fuck it, because and maybe because she thought I was too. Maybe she just blamed it on her son. She thought I was too strict because I got a philosophy. HQ, don't no kid in my house get a vote. I don't negotiate with no kid. I
don't negotiate with kids either.
No. Now my daughter can make a request, and I will either affirm or deny that request. But she don't get a goddamn vote.
You don't get a say in nothing that goes on in this month. You don't get a say in nothing. I'm paying the bills, and no, you don't get no say.
Yeah, but her boy.
But
I watch her ask her son all kind of permissions for the home she's taking care of. It just used to blow my mind. I'd be like,
it's just a way to. It's a way to give them power, or a way to give them some kind of buy-in. Fuck buy-in. Get your ass in the goddamn bedroom. Don't come out that motherfucker. You don't pay no bills.
There you go.
That's the way I do. You don't pay no bills.
You can't convince black women right now, especially like a guy like that's kind of built like me, who has an idea of like how to run business, how to move forward, how to somewhat develop the relationship. A lot of sisters, they'll come to me and I seem domineering and controlling to them. And I would tell them, how do you know if you don't? First of all, I never sit there and go and try to talk them out of that, because that's not a shameful thing to me. I would say to them, how do you know if you're gonna like it or not if you never lived up under it? How do you know you gonna like this kind of structure that gives you freedom if you ain't never been free before?
The Mexican Metal Textile asked you a question.
What was it?
Whose fault is it that she lets her son rule the house?
That's her fault.
This is wild. This is wild. Critical Rick. He asked another question or something. I don't even know. They just be talking 2-point crazy.
Is that Black America up there?
Yeah, Black America. Go ahead. Go ahead. What were you about to say, Black America?
I just, I try to explain to you a lot about.
Don't you bring your ass up here bitching about black women? We ain't talking about them.
I'm just talking about the dynamic. Don't start with me. Don't start with me. About the dynamic.
Okay.
And you keep giving us pushback, saying no, it can't be like this. And I'm telling you, for our generation, it was different. TJ is younger than us, and like I said, I mess with younger women. This is what's going on. You don't see it.
Younger women. I mean, I understand. I mean, the relationship dynamic to the side. Even if you pull these people into a relationship, are they willing to build? Are they willing to do something long term when they're not thinking of any other person besides themselves? Are they willing to do anything other than think of themselves? And we need to think as a collective group and say, wait a minute, you said something in the chat. What was that when we said we wanted to think collectively? What were you saying?
As far as there is no collective. There is no collect. I'm driving, you're in the passenger seat. That's all it is to it. But
I'm talking about in terms of a political power or some kind of political structure or some kind of voting block where we vote together. That kind of thing. I'm talking.
You're not going to vote like I want you to vote. You want to have say.
Yeah, of course I have say. I have my own individual vote. The whole point is
but you're not supposed to. You're supposed to vote how I vote.
No, that's not.
You don't. That's why we'll never get along.
No, you have to change the mind frame, and then they will vote how they want to vote. You don't decide if they vote how they vote.
And the HQ. That's the difference between us and the white, that middle class, blue collar white man's wife who voted for Obama. Mm-hmm. She voted for Trump because her husband told her to. Because these women were catching hell at home from the men, and so that's why it was such a shock when Hillary lost. Because those same women that were supposed to vote for her, their husband said over my dead body, and they walked into those damn booths and they voted for fucking Trump anyway.
And look
because their husbands told them to.
Yeah, and look
where that got us. The problem is we're not in a bad. Me and TJ aren't in a bad place, HQ. And unfortunately, to be honest with you, me and TJ don't give a fuck about them black women that are doing bad, getting evicted. We don't care about them.
Y'all have
why?
Y'all address Critical Rick. You read that.
I can't see the chat.
Yeah, and I'm too far away from the screen. I can't see it either. Okay. What did he say?
No, he says no way. He said no way. Y'all think black people are fine. There's a big problem with the black community. Disrespect, destruction, and death is all they contribute to the United States.
Well, the first part, he's correct. The last part, I'm wrong with him.
Right. And it's just taken completely out. Do you think they too far gone to even be helped? Do you think our community is too far gone to be helped?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I keep saying
So we gotta burn these people off.
Yes.
No, that's why I keep saying we need these foreign women to mate with our young black men.
No, don't say that. We need to burn you men off then. Now you see how that feel?
No, listen, HQ.
Don't
Hold
say
on.
us women gotta be
Hold on.
burnt off. Because I can
No,
say
listen.
black men can be burnt off. Don't say that. That's
Listen, HQ.
disrespectful.
Who protects us? You or me?
We do.
No,
I was thinking
HQ.
about this the other night. When the white boys was talking about telling Trump to let these white men loose into these neighborhoods and they would clean up the neighborhoods. I was thinking about that. Why is it that they would not? Why is it that what would stop them from coming into the neighborhoods to do what they wanted to do? What would stop them?
We talked about this.
Men.
Okay.
Men, HQ.
Black America, I think this is where you and I probably will diverge a little bit.
How?
I actually think there's nothing stopping them.
No. Well, we couldn't stop them, but they'll be scared to lose. They'll be a little bit more scared to lose their life because they'll be fighting for less. And what I mean by fighting for less is your daughter's 10, my daughter's 8. Me and you are in the house fighting against 50 white men. Who has more precious cargo to protect, us or them at this point?
I'm assuming us.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So we're going to fight harder because we're fighting for a purpose. You see what I mean? If go ahead.
Now here HQ. I kind of get the question, and here's where I side on this. Take if random white men want to come into our neighborhoods and police our neighborhoods or quote unquote clean it up, that will be a bad day for them. Now, but if we're talking police force, military, we're going to get slaughtered. But
yeah, we'll be slaughtered at that point.
Yeah, but Billy Bob and them coming in from the sticks to come in to police us, that'll be a really bad day for them. Because we got what
explain to her why though, TJ. Explain to her exactly why.
Because we got what they got, and we are, and it just will be a bad. We got too much anger. We got the same firepower, and we got the same resolve, and we just got too much anger. That we would love for that to happen. Actually, HQ. If random Billy Bob from his neighborhood and the sticks and from the suburbia want to march their ass into quote unquote black neighborhoods to quote unquote clean it up, that will be an epic annihilation of them. Now, if they brought in military policing to do it, we would get slaughtered. They got more resources.
Yeah, it wouldn't last. It wouldn't last a day. But once again,
but if average Joe Blow white man who just got something to get off his chest or thinking that the South will rise again, that will be a bad day for him and his family.
Well, according to who was the Air Descartes, he said just a matter of time before the right-wing terrorist groups dudes come in and start hunting people. They've been looking to do that for years.
Let them come on in.
But HQ, this is what I'm telling you. Me and TJ don't have a problem with that. You have a problem with that. Me and TJ are on the wish a nigga would. You are like, no.
I know. I wish. I don't want to have a civil war. The only reason because I know how the outcome would. I know what the outcome would be. We would all lose. We would.
Well, the whole thing about it is we all live in mixed communities, right? There is no, except for if you're poor. Poor white people live in trailer parks. Poor black people live in ghettos and shit like that. But HQ, if Billy Bob goes to the ghetto, do you know what them boys over there have in the ghettos? This is where all the people is getting shot. They don't. They don't want to do that. Believe me.
We got what they got. HQ.
Yeah, these boys got everything. Them young boys, they got everything Billy Bob got. And guess what? They smoke weed and drink. They ain't afraid of shit.
Yeah,
they
but
feel invincible.
Just think of what would happen if this came down to a civil war. There's different things that would aspects that would happen that would disadvantage the ghetto population.
I said if this came down to a military action, we would get slaughtered.
Yes, but if it came down to regular people, I know my neighborhood. I know every wall to hit. I know every nook and cranny. I know my neighborhood has 4 exits and 3 entrances. I know my neighborhood. You don't know my neighborhood. You would be annihilated in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
even walking down the street.
But that's all they got to do. That's all they got to do is cut off several life-saving functions, and we would be fucked up. Like cut off the power grid, cut off.
So you're saying it being a military action, then, right? If it's a military action, yes, the regular people lose.
If I can think of it, then other people can think of it. I would shut your electricity down. I'd shut the water off.
You're talking militarily. You're talking about these random hate groups coming in. They're not doing none of that. They ain't that bright. But
yes, they can't go to Nevada Power and shut down the power to Las Vegas. You see what I mean? They can't go to Nevada Power. They could hit a light pole or something like that. But I'm telling you, HQ, that'll make it even worse for them, because then they be fighting in the dark and not have a clue on what's going on. Militarily, if it was military, yes. But HQ, you can buy night vision goggles on Temu for $59. We got all the same shit that the white boys got. These boys is out here riding dirt bikes. These boys got side-by-sides and 4-wheelers and all type of stuff, HQ.
I'm saying there would be some hell to pay. I'm saying the losers would be the women and the children. The losers would be.
And that's why I'm telling you, me and TJ aren't worried about it. It's women. And you single women without men are the losers, because you're the ones something could possibly happen to you. Nothing's going to happen to me and TJ and our daughters, because me and TJ is going back to back. You see what I mean?
HQ, you know what? I asked a woman one time. She had 4 kids by 4 different. She had a kid with a guy who had 4 other kids by 4 other women. And I asked her one time, I said, there's a real possibility that all the kids can wind up in the murder seat at the same time. And she goes, yeah. I go, who does he go to first? She was like, well, me, because I got his last kid. I said, why do you think you're more special than his other children? Why do you think you're more special than baby mama number 3, 2, 4? You're 5. So what makes you think you're more special than any of them? I said, what makes you think he gonna show up to any of them? Because he's living with a woman with some kids that none of them belong to him. What makes you think that he won't protect the woman that he's with and leave you out to dry? I said, you had a kid with a man, you became baby mama number 5. And if your kid and 3 of his other kids all get into an emergency, whether it be health or physical danger, who is he going to first?
That's the thing. People would be spread thin. I'm saying everybody would lose. Everybody would lose. The power grid would be out. Water would be out. Food.
Well, so you're talking about HQ is talking about a governmental shutdown. Then TJ, in that case, in a governmental shutdown, yes, the black people we're only 13% of the population. If you really want to say it, we're only about 6% of the population because of of the black men that are able to fight is about 6 to 7%, we wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell, right? So yes, and you guys would be the spoils of war, like women and children have always been.
Right.
That's
So I'm saying
the way of life.
that I'm saying that whole scenario where people are coming for people, we just need to keep that shit
No,
out.
HQ.
We ain't doing that.
You can't combine them, because if it's a radical group versus the blacks, their radical group loses 100 times out of 100.
Mhm.
If it's the government gets involved, because you know let's say it's Trump's government is not coming to our rescue. He's actually coming to the radicals group rescue. We're done.
Right, because he's going to say there's good people on both sides.
Right. And we're gonna, but he's gonna say good people on both sides, but he's gonna fund the radical. He's gonna send the military in to protect the radicals from us big bad, black people. It's gonna be a slaughter. But if some radical group out of Utah somewhere want to show up in the middle of Atlanta, Georgia to clean up downtown Atlanta, Georgia, they're done for. That radical group is done for.
So when Trump wants to bring his army in and clean up Chicago, then they should just stand down right off the bat for people going to get hurt if they
Well,
don't.
you seen what happened in Washington. They can say what they want to say, but when you see a tank coming down the street, we used to have something in LA called the battle ram, right? And so it used to be busting all of the dope houses. When the battle ram was riding and they finna run through your living room, there is nothing you can do. A tank I could run my Suburban through one of these regular houses right now. So
but you said these dudes are down. If these dudes are down, is it going to stop crime?
For a radical militia group, not for the United States military. Ain't nobody crazy.
Okay, so will that bring the crime down? What are we talking about here with what Trump is trying to do?
Yeah, it's going to stop everything. It's going to bring everything to a screeching halt.
But let me explain something to you, HQ.
Yeah.
If Trump is allowed to do that in blacks, he's going to do it across the country, and it ain't going to be just black neighborhoods.
Yeah, I know. That's why you don't allow him to get started doing it.
That's why you don't allow him to get started, because there's no stopping. You know what I mean? Once if you know somebody's trying to break in your house and you unlock the door, ain't no stopping them there.
Right. That's the major objection that I have for him sending in the takes in the military, is because once he starts doing it, he's going to continue to do it, and then he's going to get, and he has a potential to spout lies right in the public's face, and they believe it. Oh, yeah. We straightening crime out. We got rid of all the criminal. We did all of the X, Y, and Z. And then you got people scared, white folks sitting in the back. Yeah, clean them niggers in your neighborhood up. Please get it clean. And then he's
all right. Let's bring it back down. Okay. TJ, I really appreciate what you've been saying. I appreciate the fact that you can actually talk to HQ and she kind of half-ass agrees with it sometimes. So I appreciate that fact. And HQ, Trump can do a lot of things, but that's something that you kind of taking it a bridge too far with this hypothetical civil war and all of that stuff.
I didn't say anything about a civil war. What I said was we don't want a civil war. Nobody wants a civil war. Nobody wants to agree to have bullets flying, because women are going to be the losers of that. And they're going to figure out a way to turn shit off. And it's going to be a shit show from then on. In 2 or 3 days, this is going to be over. So I'm saying nobody wants this kind of fight. Nobody.
Well, and I understand that. And it will, with our country, with the way the 3-tier system is set up, where it would have to go through Congress, to Senate, and all of that, they would not allow anything like that. So
wait a
let's.
minute. He sent it in the tank. Didn't he send
Black
it in the tank
America,
from Maryland?
I would be very hesitant to say what they won't do, especially when Trump's government controls every branch of the government right now.
Right.
Yeah, you know what, TJ, with that, I hear what you're saying, but that'll be like us that are in the field working, saying that every white person that we know is bad, bro. And we can't say that every white person is bad.
No, they're not all bad, but you know, bump up against their
Right.
whiteness and see what happens.
Yeah,
even the best.
I dig it. I dig it. If something were to happen, it would have happened behind something like the little Ukrainian girl getting stabbed, because that was horrific, right? So, and that's what I'm saying. It's just our country. We are. I was actually at the office about 2 hours ago, and I was talking to some of the guys that are there in the dispatch, and I was telling them that we are a melting pot here that was a forced melting pot. Everything, they put all of the stuff in. So we're a big pot of gumbo. And some things we do have in common, but none of us as men like each other. And that's what I was telling you earlier, HQ. As men, none of us like each other. So something like this could happen, but the probability of it, I'm saying it's a 1% type of thing that it actually could happen.
But then again, I thought I would never see some of these things that Trump has implemented before. I thought I would never see some of this stuff.
Like what?
Some of the stuff that he's doing, circumventing the law, circumventing the Constitution.
I'm saying, what is he done?
I'm listing it. Circumventing the Constitution, going after his enemies when that's his political enemies, when that's never been done before. Accepting bribes.
It's always been done.
Accepting bribes from overseas. No, it's never been done.
It's always been done, HQ.
No, it's never been
this country.
It's never been done right out in front of the American public. It's never been done like that. Never.
You don't think so, but I'm telling you, in the Senate, they used to have duels. It was one dude. I don't remember who it was, but he got beat on the
Senate floor.
Say that again, TJ.
He got beat on the Senate floor. Almost got beat to death.
Yes, they used to have real knockdown fights, and then they would have duels, and they would be slapping people inside of the Senate. This country, men, once again, are not nice people. We're just not. We are,
trying to circumvent the freedom of speech, suing reporters for what they say about you. There's plenty of things that this president has done that are out of order, but it is what it is, and these are things that I never thought I would see. But that's okay. I ain't too long for dealing with Trump. I only got to deal with him for the next 3 years, and hopefully I only got to deal with him for one more year. But it is what it is. The whole point is he's the shittiest president ever. Shittiest president. Y'all listen to that? Seeing as how y'all get brainwashed for shit. I'm saying it 3 times. Shittiest president ever. Shittiest president ever. Shittiest president ever. Maybe y'all accept that. But that's not the point. The point is we can't afford to have what the hell is it called? We can't afford to have the dog whistles called on us, and then we end up having things happen like what's his name? Trey Reed. Trey Reed. Y'all remember the guy who got hung in Mississippi? Was it Mississippi or Alabama? Where was that at?
But nobody cares about that though, HQ. Not in mass.
What do you mean?
In mass, people don't care about that.
Yeah, they care about that.
No, I didn't know him, so he doesn't matter to me. People die every day.
So you mean tell me you got to care about something in order for it to matter?
Yes, you absolutely do.
In mass.
Let me tell you something. Hitler was killing people for years over in Germany. America didn't jump in the war until they bombed Pearl Harbor. You know why? Because it didn't matter to them. What goes on in somebody else's country, hey, that doesn't have anything to do with me. I don't care about it. Once they bomb
I
Pearl
don't care
Harbor,
about what goes on. I don't care what goes on in other countries either. I care about what goes on in these countries. This country.
So what I'm saying is, if it happens in another state and I don't know the person, I got my own life and my own stuff going on.
That's why I
don't
said,
care about
I said that. I said I am built differently. I
right.
am.
And there's not, and there's, and you are probably 1 to 3% of people. People don't think like you.
So I said I need to get me another party because both of the parties are trash. And I'm just trying to figure out how that can be done because both of the parties are trash.
Oh,
and nobody
okay.
cares
And
about the poor. Nobody cares about the poor. Nobody cares about the less fortunate. Nobody really, really wants to make the country better. They just want to keep the country halfway sick. And they want to be rich on their own, but they don't care about everything else that goes with the structure of the country. But y'all give me your final thoughts. Damn, I've been on here long enough. Give me your final thoughts.
Well, I'll say this, HQ.
Yeah.
America, no different than the Roman Empire. It's no different.
Yeah, I'm trash too, Critical Rick. I'm trash too, just like you trash. We know you trash.
America is no different than the Roman Empire. One day we're going to fall, and it's going to be internally.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing it in real time right now. Whether we be around for that when it actually collapses, but it's going to collapse. It's what's happening in this country is not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
It's not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had a real succinct answer for you because most men, we want to be able to solve a problem. And one of the frustrating things to do to frustrate a man is give him a problem that he can't solve.
Mm-hmm.
Then he gets frustrated. So there's like a series of steps that we can take, HQ, to make it better, but I don't know if we are built for that anymore. I mean, I do not believe it is. I don't think that Black family and structure as we remember it historically will ever be the case again in this country.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of I'm thinking of a bigger. I'm thinking of not necessarily black and white. I'm thinking of rich and poor. I can't think in terms
and because it is a class thing. I think it is an economical class warfare here, but we're stuck fighting a war that we're being told to fight while they're up there, stealing our pockets. They're robbing us blind while we're down here fighting an unnecessary fight. Right. And then we're helping them rob us by not doing the things that we need to do to get to be together as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, I really don't know.
This is an ongoing discussion that we got to have.
Yeah, we got to do. And then we're going to convince a whole nother generation of people of Blacks that you got to get together. We
also have to convince white men to
that we're not their fucking enemy.
Right. Yes.
But how do you do that when I don't know, when they got a whole machine and a whole history that tells them that we are?
Yeah.
We ain't never done nothing to no white person. If we were gonna do something to white people, we would have done it already.
So why they so angry? Why y'all so angry? I don't understand. Why y'all so angry? Why are the white people so angry with us black people?
Because men are mean people.
White folk believe that they all believe that they should be rich aristocrats, and they're not rich aristocrats because us Negroes have gotten in the way, and now it's the migrants have gotten in their way because the upper class, the ruling class, have convinced the poor white man that the people that's in the same boat he's in is standing in his way. So he's angry about that. He's angry, and he's angry that TJ rides up with I don't have this, but I'm riding up with an S class, and he riding around in a 84 Ford pickup truck that's backfiring. And he's, how do you convince that?
I don't understand. Somebody said the other day, why are white people angry with us? We don't control it. You got the White House, you got the Senate, you control the food, you control the imports, you control politics, you control the universities. You get rid of DEI, got rid of affirmative action. You're getting rid of the immigrant. You got all the things that you want. You still worried about the black man. I don't understand. You get all the things that you want.
My grandmama said it's because
you're worried about the black man.
My grandma says it's because of the meat. So I don't know. I
just don't understand it.
I don't either.
Understand it. This is crazy. Black America.
So I got a little pushback for TJ. There is an absolute way to fix it. The problem is the resolve of us as men not turning our backs on our women because we love them so much.
Wait a minute, hold on. White man from town. White man. Out of all the shit that black people could or would have did, it don't compare nothing to you all keeping black folks in the cages. It don't compare to nothing when you look it up, when you put it up against the white man keeping black men in cages. So stop it. It's never going to be equal. But we're willing to put the shit down. But y'all won't let it be put down. That's the problem. Keep going. I'm sorry, Black America. Keep going.
White man from town. Do you know what that's from? That's from a movie called Thinner. It was a good movie. White Man from Town. It's from a movie called Thinner. It was great. Stephen King. But we don't have the resolve to turn our backs on our women and cut them off completely to make them beg to come back and be up underneath us. No dinners, no changing tires, no helping them with plumbing, no doing anything for them. So it's an experiment that has been ran a bunch of time with mice. And what you said, TJ, I totally agree with it about the Roman Empire. And when things get too good for people, that's when society collapses. The same thing happened with this mice colony. They gave them all of the food and everything, and the hay and everything they want, and their population went up, and then it capped off, just like ours is capped off now. And then they all just died because they stopped breeding, they stopped mating, they stopped doing everything that was in their nature to do because everything was so good to them. And I see that with our women right now. We still want our women, but just like you were saying previously about the young lady that you was trying to date, you're not good enough for her. Even though, if you ask me, I think you're 10 times too good for her. You see what I mean? So I was telling HQ earlier, we already have chose you. It's up for you guys to pick us. And with social media and everything now, there's just no choosing us regular blue collar hard working men anymore. So society will fall. Well, our society will fall. This is why they stopped AB. You always talk about this AB HQ. That's why they want to stop it, because the Latino people was outbreeding the white people. So if the Latino people are outbreeding the white people, because these white people, their bodies are drying up. These white people, they're having one child if they are having children, and then they're coming out in a bad situation. So guess what?
Right.
Who's
They're gonna
going to
be
be
out.
the dominating?
Right, right.
Right. Who's going to be the dominating class in
The
this country?
the Hispanics.
Yes, but they definitely don't like that. You know,
It's
they
gonna be.
definitely.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be a small. It's gonna be. Within. It's. I think it's gonna be within 30 years. They're gonna be the Mexicans are going to be the dominant culture here, if the
Right.
white culture
And
don't stop
and
them.
and and so that coincides when black people become a permanent underclass. You see, all of these things, they run together.
Right.
They all run together. 2053, black
Mhm.
people are supposed to be a permanent underclass. In 30 years, the Latino population is supposed to outweigh the white population, who's
Mhm.
the ruling class. So
Mhm.
hey, no more abortions, because if you guys keep getting abortions, white girls, we can't keep up with these Mexicans. Even though it's more of us, they're outbreeding us. You see what I
The
mean?
white
And then
man's
they,
found. You're not the founding. Why do you keep? Why do you white people think you were the first people here? You weren't the first people here. This is not your. This is not your country. You did not found this place. Stop saying that.
well,
Reading.
they, when you have to look at it, when men conquer things, then it's theirs. And that's what he's telling you. That's the
Well,
way all of us men think of it.
that's
I'm
not the way
sorry,
it
HQ.
is. Yeah, that's not the
No,
way it
that is,
is.
that's
Unfortunately, the
exactly
Mexicans
the way it
are.
is.
Unfortunately, it's going to be the Mexicans that outgrow them. So they women. See, the thing is, in order for you to get your country to do what your country needs to do, the women to do what you need to do, you actually need to engage with those women. Now we see women going the opposite way of dealing with men. You have to start engaging those women in order to have those children. See, Mexican people ain't had no problem with they women. They've been fucking and having kids, and they gonna continue to fucking have kids. It's you white
And
men,
and and and,
women
and,
are saying go
and
fix the fly.
what are black men doing now? And what are black men doing now?
It's the same way. It's the same way as the white women. They
No,
telling y'all
they're
they
dating
telling
they're
they
dating out more.
yeah,
They're
but not
dating out more.
not to that
Look at
center.
all of these mixed children.
White men are
Look at
gonna
all of
start.
these.
The white men are gonna start hoarding they women. You gonna get y'all ain't gonna be having y'all pick outside the black race. Stop it. They're gonna start hoarding they women.
There's Mexican women. Look at all of these from when we were young to now. Look at all of these mixed children. It might have been one or two little light skinned kids.
I'm saying all of the races are going. All of the separate individual races are going to be minorities when in about 40 years. It's going to be mixed. You're going to have mixed races all around here. It ain't going to have a white dominant culture. It's not going to be a white dominant culture. Only way you're going to
Right.
do that is if you get burnt out, and you're not going to burn people
And
out.
and that's why they were trying to stop the AB. Because if they stop or slow down the AB, then
Mhm.
guess what? They can keep some kind of power. You
Yeah.
see what I mean? Because
But see,
it's
here's the thing: the white people that's in power already see it slipping. They already see it slipping because they're doing everything they can to bring back Christian white nationalism. They're doing everything that
no
they.
HQ. All they have to do is put out the illegals.
Yeah, that's all they gotta do is put out the illegal. That's correct. But they're not gonna do that. So you gotta worry about it because they ain't gonna do
Well,
that.
HQ, you see they're deporting these people every day. They're
Yeah, we
deporting
got
our
we
neighbors
got
every
13
day.
million. We got 13 million people here. That ain't gonna happen. They ain't gonna get rid of all of them. They can't get rid
When
of
was the
13.
last time you been to the grocery store?
I don't know, couple days maybe. Why?
Were all the shelves stocked the way you usually would see the grocery store a couple of months ago?
I hadn't really paid attention too much.
Next time you go to the grocery store, pay attention to how it's stocked and look at the prices. Everything is skyrocketing and there's less stuff on the shelves
No,
because
according to
we don't
according to idiot critical Rick, everything is going down. According to that idiot, everything is going down. You
yeah,
sure stuff is going up, Black America? Are you sure this stuff is going up?
have stuff went up for you.
Yeah, stuff has went up for me.
Okay, so then it's went up for that dummy too. You know what I mean? He he you have some people that are just on a side and they're going to stay on their side and they're going to ride it out.
Right.
No matter what. You know what I mean? Like no matter what, people are stuck on their side and they're going to stay on that side and they don't care what happens, thick or thin. You know, they're just going to ride it out. But
Oh, you didn't say that, retard. You're the retard. You're the one who came in here and said food prices are going down and gas is going down. You're the idiot who said that. Don't come in here lying. Don't lie. You ain't say jack shit about wages.
So whoever that is, I am in the gas industry. Okay. And just to let you know, I am in a gas industry. I have contracts in several different cities, in several different states, actually. And no, my man, people buy gas from here in Nevada because we don't have a state tax. Gas is constantly going up. I watch the prices every day, and my salesmen are fighting for prices every day. So gas is not going down. So hell, I remember a couple of years ago when I could buy gas for 15 cents a gallon out of Colorado. So gas is not going down. So yeah, I know you're ready to get off. So go ahead and get off. And you have a good night. And I guess I'll holler at you tomorrow.
Thank you, Black America. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right.
Girl, cooking up delicious. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we had some new people in here, specifically Critical Rick, the idiot Critical Rick. I know exactly what you said to me. You didn't say jack shit about wages. Stop lying. You didn't say that unless you said it in a different post that I didn't read. But the one I read said gas prices were going down and then food prices were going down. That's the only thing I read from you. And you were lying then. Gases are going up. Food shit is going up. Your idiot president lied to you, but you believe him because you're an idiot, right? Because we're seeing the effects of the idiot right now, and we're really going to see the effects in about 5 weeks. Everybody going to be begging for some handouts. Okay, wages are at their highest level in 60 years. They might be, but the goddamn food ain't at the lowest it has ever been, which means they don't give a fuck whether you make more money. You still got to pay high prices for food. Having high wages don't mean jack shit if they jacking up the goddamn food and the rent. The rent is 30% higher than it was in 2020, than it was in 2020. Oh, I'm never going to be a bro. I'm never going to be a victim. I'm good. I'm good over here. I'm never going to be a victim. Thank you very much. But that's neither here nor there. I thank you for tuning in. Click the like button up or down. Don't give a fuck. Do one or the other. Come back tomorrow. Don't give a fuck if you do or you don't. But I got to go because I got things to do in the morning. I see y'all then.